This whole segment can be just summed up as emotional damage. Oh, hello everyone.
Hello everyone. I guess 2 boys. Oh. Hello.
What?
What indeed?
Well then.
Wait a sec. Huh?
Did you sync the Steam Cloud or?
It should be synced to Steam Cloud.
All right. Why don't you try downloading the latest off the cloud and see if that fixes it? Well, first we should check. Does the game support cloud saves?
I could have sworn it did, but I'm not actually seeing it there.
Yeah, it should have a right by the play button. It should say like cloud status up to date or something like that.
It's not saying that, it's just saying last played.
Okay, then it does not support cloud saves.
Well, I guess we'll have to go through everything again.
Yep, yay.
Well,
we could skip over like a good chunk of it. I kind of remember
definitely.
where we were. Yeah, because literally we could just do what decisions we know are right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were literally right about to do the like the memorabilia showcase where we're trying to jog his memory. So like we know where we're at.
It's still gonna be a pain to get there.
Yeah, and you don't have to start the recording until. Oh wait, you download your streams, don't you?
No.
Instead of record yourself.
I record.
Oh, you record yourself?
Yeah.
Excellent. So why don't we just get to where we were, start the recording, and then go from there?
Yeah, I'll have a record in case we have anything useful to say in between.
That's fair. I mean, you do edit them. You're not like me where I just dump the full VOD on YouTube.
I do
nothing to it.
I do both. We can pretend that Gretel never existed in this playthrough.
Oi!
Who?
Gretel.
Who?
Okay, I see.
I knew you'd catch on. Alright, we're here.
Totally didn't burn through 53 minutes of stream to get to where we left off last week.
Well, you also gotta count. Well, you also have to exclude the time that we spent waiting for stream to start, so.
Yeah, it was only 15 minutes, though.
Yeah, exactly. Not that bad.
Alright. The next day marked the start of the keepsake tournament.
Let's fucking go! Day 1, contestant 1.
Princess number one.
Let's fucking go!
The first to turn up was the standoffish one.
I'm gonna pretend I remember who this is.
A bowl.
We
used this bowl a lot when we were together. Don't you remember? Oh, see? Okay. I can't. Sorry. Sure you can. Take a good look. Didn't I take you off the street when you had nowhere else to go? What does that have to relate to a bowl? Unless she just brought something random. Oh my god, she literally like, here's the bowl I fed you from. I fed you, gave you a room of your own, and helped you live a normal life. Remember? After all I did for you, you can't even remember. You're so entitled. You always have been.
His ill man.
He can't remember if he's always been like this. Sorry.
If there was an option to punch this chick in the face, I would have taken it in a heartbeat, but instead, I held back. It would have been all too easy to give into emotion, but to do so would be no different from giving her ammo to use against me. True. That said, at the very least, I wanted to say something in his defense, but Snow White stopped me. If this bowl was so special to your relationship, then surely you must have some kind of anecdote about it, right? It's always Snow's turn with the brain song.
An anecdote about a bowl? Hardly. We ate separately and never spoke. He didn't try to talk to us, and we didn't talk to him either.
You wanted him to remember how?
Yeah, you wanted him to remember what now?
I see. So he was an unwanted presence.
邪魔者扱い？そんなひどいことはしてない。ちゃんと自由にさせてあげてた。
Alright, that's me.
Yeah.
Unwanted? Don't put words in my mouth. I was just giving him his own space.
But you were ignoring him, right?
Absolutely.
だって。
Well, what else was I supposed to do with him? He wasn't family. He was a foreign presence in my house. Wow.
本当の家族じゃない。
Jesus. Then why bother bringing us a keepsake at all? You don't even have any concrete proof that Kaguya actually used it. Smells good.
そう。こんなもの。
It's okay, we'll find out his fucked up trauma next. You're right. I don't actually care about this piece of crap. The bowl or the guy?
And with that, she threw the bowl away.
Okay, the bowl. Got it.
ねえ、かぐや。あなたには保護者が必要でしょ？
Kaguya, you need a guardian to look after you. And I know the ball will end up in my court sooner or later. So just do as I tell you. Bro. No.
That's enough. And she reached out to touch him. I interjected, stopping her short. Her cold eyes slowly turned to me. I stared back stubbornly. My eyes narrowed. You chose to throw the ball away. We'll never end up back in your court.
Wait, 1 second.
Okay.
Before we continue,
Mm-hmm.
we need to run a scientific experiment. So first of all, example A.
Mm-hmm. Quack.
Quack. Okay, and now example B. Alright, did that sound like a quack to you?
Not all at once like that, but I still could kind of hear like little quack qualities, if that makes sense.
And that definitely wasn't just an excuse for me to clean another cartridge.
Sure.
Alright.
Princess number 2.
Is it gonna be stuck-up bitch number 2? Let's fucking go.
The next to visit was the haughty woman who had struck Kaguya in the cafe.
Oh, great, her. Kaguya would always do anything I told him to. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, even helping me run the shop.
You had him work for you?
Oh, I most certainly did. I couldn't just let him live with me for free, you know. I needed him to pull his own weight, or else he'd be a drain on my resources. Wow.
I see. I didn't agree with it, but could at least see where she was coming from. No one was obligated to take care of some guy they weren't related to. So in exchange for those human necessities, she put him to work, like a live-in assistant.
Yeah.
Frankly, it wasn't all that different from his current situation with us. What? It's nothing.
But I tell you, he'd always get into trouble behind my back. It was so infuriating.
What sort of trouble?
I'd send him to the store. He'd buy things I didn't ask for, or buy the wrong things altogether.
I mean, now that you know he has amnesia... Like, I don't blame her or the previous girl necessarily.
This whole problem could have been solved by just giving him a fucking list.
Yeah. Yeah. Suki said, like, I don't blame her or even the previous girl necessarily, but what the fuck do you think it means to be dating someone?
I don't know what they think it means.
Yeah.
Plus, he'd always wander off somewhere. God, what a hassle. Leave if you want to, but don't make me have to hunt you down and drag you back. All the neighbors gossiped about us. I was so embarrassed.
Put him on a leash. Problem solved.
You want him back, but you were embarrassed by him?
These women are a little cray-cray.
These women are cray-cray. Maybe Kaguya had a point. Maybe he's just like, yep, see ya.
Yeah. I was tired of listening to her complain, so I decided to keep the conversation moving. So, is that your keepsake?
It sure is. Quality time being a store slave.
It was what I believe to be a branch laden with peaches, made out of fake crystal. Oh.
Interesting. Why?
To appeal to
Oh,
Cinderella.
of course Cinderella. Of course Cinderella perks up at this. Ooh, glass! And it's not in a pain shape.
Oh, hey, is this a glass ornament? Cinderella leaned forward curiously. He was a big fan of all things glass. Well, he is. So
oh yeah, he definitely is. We know. We played through his route already. Yep. This is a keepsake he bought for me as a gift. You hear that, good ladies? He bought that for me. Even though he was a broke ass. The second I laid my eyes on it, all my pain and misery just melted away. Everything he did for me. Because he loved me. What about you? Did you love him? Or did you just like the things that he did for you? Like, fuck off.
She spoke with an unenraptured expression on her face.
Kaguya, you love me. That means you belong to me. I'll forgive you for everything, so just come back to me, okay? Didn't you slap him?
Yep.
Wasn't she the bitch that slapped him?
Yep.
In the open cafe area in front of everybody?
Wait. Isn't this one of the ones I made? Oh my.
What?
Man, this takes me back. This one was so damn hard to make. How the hell did you get your hands on it?
Probably from the trash after you threw it out. No, you're lying! There's no way a mere amateur can make this! He's not an amateur, he's been practicing.
Bitch doesn't even know Cinderella, like...
Yeah, like, bitch, you don't know Cinderella.
You think I'm lying? Well then, why don't we check my collection? And while we're at it, I can see if mine is missing.
Ooh, let's go. He's getting the receipts.
Cinderella smirked.
That's not possible. I literally just bought. Oh, sneaky.
And that was the moment she realized she had dug her own grave. So in other words, it's a fake. Cindy playing glass chess over here, so true.
I was wondering what he was getting at. I was like, oh yeah, he could definitely. I mean, we've seen him make stuff like that, and then it's like, oh wait, no.
Clever. Fake as the crystal it's made of. Kaguya, does this item remind you of anything? Not sure why it would, but...
That she's cheap? No.
I didn't think so. There were never any memories attached to this thing to begin with. Cinderella snorted.
Why?
Ask yourself, you're the one that brought something fake.
Yeah, why'd you just fake a memento?
Having lost her temper, the woman grabbed at Kaguya. Spooky, we should still have the glass chest set. I think it might be in one of the closets in the hallway with all the other board games.
You guys have a glass chest set?
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
It is. No.
How they do the different color pieces? Is it like one is like clear glass and the other one's like tinted, or are they both tinted?
One's clear and then the other is like frosted.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, no violence?
Yep. No violence. Together, Cinderella and I pulled her away from him.
I made so many sacrifices for you, and you were nothing but trouble. Did you think you could get back at me by disappearing? Someone ought to beat some sense into you.
You already slapped him in public in front of everyone. What the?
Yeah, exactly. Chill.
Like, I'm pretty sure she's the one that left. Hey.
Forget it. Go wherever you want. I'm done with you. Not you, Sakyu.
Okay, thanks for clarifying. And so the
well, you know, sometimes I have to clarify.
And so the woman stormed out of the cafe, her face beet red. No character, that one. Princess number 3.
Well, you know what they say, third time's the charm. Oh, it's this bitch. Let's go. I've been waiting for this bitch.
The third to visit was the small cutesy girl. With her big puppy dog eyes, she showed us her keepsake. That's... Instantly I laid eyes on it. I was stunned. In her hands was the tiny scrap of fabric burned to a crisp O.
Cool.
A big chunk of ash or something?
No!
Just to humor her, I gave it another once over. I'm pretty sure that's just a chunk of ash.
No! It's the robe Kaguya wore when he lived with me. Why'd you burn it then?
Biting back the urge to reply with, "Whatever you say, hon," I instead asked, "Then why is it charred black?"
Because there was a fire.
I'm sorry to hear that.
In my soul. It's okay. Things are a lot better now. Anyway, any luck, Kaguya? Sorry. I can't remember a thing.
Yeah. Relix is in the cage to not commit war crimes.
Despite all my intent that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Sakyu's just suddenly like, war crimes are bad, and I'm like, what?
I updated your cage, by the way. I don't know if you noticed.
I think I was like looking at it, I was like, I think something's new about this cage, but I could not figure it out. I was like, huh.
It's a new cage, yes.
No crime? But what am I supposed to do if I can't do crime?
You see, Spiky, the other route doesn't exist. We lost the save data, remember? Anyways, you read that, right?
What other route?
Yeah, what other route?
Yeah, I read that.
Okay. Be gave, no crime. So true.
Oh.
When Kaguya shook his head, she seemed sort of relieved. Something about it fell off to me, so I questioned her further. So, what was it like, having Kaguya live with you?
Kaguya was always smiling, and everybody was always fawning over him, telling him how cute and precious he was, buying him clothes and stuff.
So he was cuter than you.
Hell yeah.
They still loved you, but not as much as Kaguya. Isn't that right? At this, the girl snapped.
No! That's not true! I'm way cuter than he is! I admit, he is cute, but not in an actually cute way, just in a sad, pathetic way. They only coddle him because they felt sorry for him. That's not the same thing!
Well,
I'm the cutest one! How is it that I'm the one who ended up all neglected? So she burnt it.
yep.
Absolutely. 100%.
Ah, I see. So you were burning with jealousy. At this, her complexion turned green with envy. And those flames consumed this keepsake of yours, correct?
Wait. Green.
そうだよ。
Flames.
いつも引き立て役にされて、いい
Gretel.
面の皮だったよ。みんなの可愛い可愛い。
Saki, I remember.
いつも笑顔でいたけど、本当はそうじゃない。私は知ってた。
Yeah, that's right. Poor me. Constantly being compared to him. Meanwhile, their precious Kagi Pie kept smiling away. But I knew those smiles were fake.
だから、私はこの偽善者の面の皮を剥いでやろう
So
と
I
思った
decided to
の。
rip that phony's mask off and take him down a peg.
That's not how you peg people.
ねえ、かぐやちゃん。
Yeah, first you have to get a strap on.
私のところに来て。
Come back to my house, okay, Kagi Pie, so I can emotionally abuse you some more.
今度はね、大丈夫。みんな。
It'll work out this time. They know exactly what you're like. I made sure to tell them.
あなた
So
が
this
どんな
time
人
you
な
can
の
be
か
jealous of
教えてあげ
me.
たの。
What a terrible person.
Yeah.
思い出の品は贋
The
作と
second you
同
gave
じ
in to your jealousy, that keepsake lost any value it had.
その証拠
Damn
に
straight.
As
君
proof
は
of
か
that,
ぐやの記
you
憶
were
を
unable to
取り
restore
戻せなかった
Kaguya's memories. Consequently,
君がか
you'll
ぐやを
receive
得る
no
ことはで
prize.
きない帰れ
Go home.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Princess number 4. The fourth visitor was the fashionable girl we met in the shopping district.
これこれ。
Let's go.
水のネックレス。思い出した？
See? It's the jade necklace. Remember?
思い出されへんな
No. I'm afraid I don't.
もう、
Oh,
もっとしっ
please.
かり見て
Get a better
よ。
look at it then.
She was flippant in both tone and attitude, but Kaguya treated her kindly nonetheless.
ごめんな
Sorry,
よければこれ
love.
に
Could you
どん
tell
な
me what sort of
思い出があるか
memories are
教えてくれ
associated with it? Probably bad ones.
昔から君は変わらないね。
You never change, do you? Huh?
思い出ならいっぱいあるよ。
We made tons of memories with this. Like,
この翡翠のネックレスをね。私が
see,
湖
it
に
all
落とした
started when I told you I dropped this
探
jade
させて
necklace
たの
in the lake and made you look for it. Wait, you forced him to look for it?
探させてた
Made me look for it?
そう。だって、
Yeah,
君は
I mean, you
頼んだ
always did anything we asked, so one day we decided to test you just to see how far you
ある
go.
日みんな
So
で
I
試
threw
し
it
たの。
into the lake and had you
彼は
search
ど
for
こ
it.
まで言うことを聞いてくれるんだろう。
None of these girls are normal, huh? Jesus.
No.
Not that I
They're all
expected
like,
them to,
they're
but...
all like, they're the test me girl. Like, I need to test you to see how true your love is.
Mm-hmm.
Which is bullshit. Like,
私たちは彼に言った。
so we told you we lost something important and asked you to help us look.
一緒に探してほし
No
い
wonder why
っ
he
て。
doesn't remember any of these goddamn women, jeez.
I mean,
もちろん、
even if he
そん
didn't
な
have
ものは
amnesia,
見つからないに
I'd
決ま
block
っ
the
て
shit
る。
out.
だって、
I'd be like, oh yeah, that happened.
別に
Fuck
なかったん
that.
だもの。
Obviously, you were never gonna find it. Why? Because we hadn't actually lost it. Oh, fuck you. At least in my scenario, I had the guts to put the thing into the lake.
Yeah, jeez.
でもね、彼って
But you
私たち
didn't
の
realize
嘘
we
に
were
気づかず
lying. You kept searching, even in the pouring rain, to the point you got sick. Are you sure he doesn't just remember it? He doesn't remember it because he got sick and blocked that part out of his memory.
その後のことは知らなかったけど、元気で
No
やってた
idea
の
what
ね。
happened to you after
よ
that.
かった
But
よ。
clearly you survived. Good for you. One second, I gotta reread that. No idea what happened to you after that, but clearly you survived. Fuck you, bitch.
Bruh. If this was Danganronpa, she would be convicted as the Blackened. Jeez.
The very next day, a body has been discovered. How do you like my Monokuma voice, by the way?
It's a Monokuma
Pretty
voice.
spot on. It's pretty spot on, but that's like the only thing I can do in that face.
It's like a little, like it's a smidge low for his voice, but otherwise it is pretty spot on.
Oh, look at his face right now.
Yeah, he's traumatized.
He's just like, he is reliving trauma right now. Say, Kaguya, do you remember now? Come home with me. Entertain us some more. He's gonna say, yes, I remember. Bye. Get the fuck out. Sorry. You don't? How come?
'Cause you're a cunt.
Yeah, 'cause you're a fucking bitch with a capital B.
もう一つ尋ねてもいいかな
Big ass for a bigger mouth. Before you go, can I ask you one last question?
結局
In the end,
僕は
I came home
何も持ち帰
empty-handed,
らずに
yeah?
君の元に帰って
Suppose
き
I'd
た
somehow
っていうこと
had the
で
necklace. Would it have... Absolutely not. Don't even go with the what ifs, Kaguya. Just move on.
His voice began to falter, so I stepped in. They set you up to fail.
Yep.
Whether you looked or not, the outcome was always going to be the same. Kaguya hung his head in defeat, so I decided to let Snow White make the final call. What do
Disqualified.
What do you think, boss?
帰って
Send her away.
To jail.
You heard the man.
Oh, by the way, we have some nice people outside who will take you to your new lodgings.
And so, a week flew by.
Did they do one a day?
Maybe.
It seems like that.
I mean, I guess they were welcome to, like, come whenever within a week, so...
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the time frame.
Mm-hmm. Though the four princesses utilized their cunning, wealth, and influence, all their strategies ended in failure.
Well, yeah.
When they realized Kaguya would never be theirs, they hurled insults at him and stormed out. As for the fifth princess...
Fifth princess! Oh, wait, that's Ricky, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure exhausted, in more ways than one.
まあな
Yeah, no kidding. What a total bust. That night, we stood in the empty dining hall, talking about the events of the past week.
しかし
Those bitches, I tell
だよ
ya.
な
First they're screaming that Kaguya is
あ
their
れだけ
property,
かぐや
and
は
then when
自
he
分の
doesn't
もの
remember
だと
him, they
か
call him
主
an
張して
entitled
たの
asshole
に
and walk out
いざ
on him.
思い出せなかったら恩知らずだとかそ
Indeed, the women had all written Kaguya off the moment he failed to remember them. Their final parting words to him were, "After everything I did for you, why won't you do what I tell you?" In the end, they only cared about what he could offer them.
Traumatized noises.
Meanwhile, Kaguya stared into space. I think that's just called association at this point. Kaguya,
どうしたんひいさん
Hmm? What is it, Poppet?
oh, nothing.
ま気にすんなっ
Nah,
て
don't sweat it.
記憶くらい
You
な
survived
った
this
っ
long
て
without your
こう
memories.
してな
You'll
ん
be
とかやってけ
fine.
てるじゃねえか
True, though.
Cinderella's pride is awfully close to Kaguya's, though. I do have
Aw,
to say that.
it's adorable. Oh, it's traumatized.
Cinderella put an arm around Kaguya's shoulders to cheer him up. Ha, gay.
な
Gay.
んなら俺がもっと
If you
いい
want.
They already had their
紹
first
介
fight.
していい
Their first
Yeah.
couple fight.
Oh dear, what happened? If you want, I can hook you up with someone way hotter. Eek. Why did he say eek? Were they
I think
getting too
Kaguya
gay?
kind of like pushed into him or something.
Maybe, we'll find out. Excuse me?
まあ
No, right.
お前には
Forgot you're already
ここに
taken.
いい女がいるよね
Oh no, he just put his foot in his mouth, that's all.
I see. Understandable.
Oh yeah, I can hook you up with someone way high. I mean, high, rake you.
Cinderella took one look at me and hurried back to his room. Valid.
I mean, this whole route has just been Cinderella sticking his foot in his mouth, and I'm here for it.
Yes, I love it.
It's so good.
And let out a sigh. Both Cinderella and Snow White had taken pity on Kaguya and tried to help him.
Wait, can you do me a favor? Can we go to the log and so that we can hear that voice that Cinderella made again?
Yes.
なんなら俺がもっといい女を紹介して。
Just the oh yeah. Went up a fucking octave. Let's fucking go.
Maybe I should make that a sound alert for something.
Oh yeah, the. Oh wait. Do we tell Peachy about the one chick that made him search the entire lake real quick?
If you want to, I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah, it's funny, but in a traumatizing way. So they're like, yeah. So she's like, hey, I lost this necklace in the lake. Go find it. And he searched for a long ass time. Came home with a cold. Didn't end up finding it. Turned out they didn't even lose it. It wasn't even in the lake. They knew about it. They just wanted to see what he would do. And we made a joke about how if that went badly, the next thing that she would hear is, "A body has been discovered." Yeah, he's a real good boy.
Yes.
Kaguya is the best. He deserves the world. He deserves more than those bitches.
Give some head pets via cursor.
Boy too good for this world. Exactly. Alright, I'm good.
Okay. But as for Kaguya himself... Boo.
Fell asleep. Passes out while standing up.
Kaguya started to lose himself in thought with growing frequency. Is it because the moon phase? Whenever the winter night sky was clear, he'd wander outside and stare up at the moon.
No.
When is it with you and the moon? He stood beside him, partly to keep him company, and partly to keep him from vanishing altogether.
He's gonna get abducted by aliens. Let's go.
Over time, the moon was shifting from a waxing crescent to a proper full moon.
Nothing.
I see. Well, you wouldn't be wandering around outside this late at night. Shouldn't be, rather. I can read. We're all really worried about you. Why don't we go back home?
Back home?
Yeah, or is there somewhere specific you wanted to go? I'll come with you.
What is it you want, Kaguya? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word. Say the word. I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. But not the stars, because those are already in your eyes. Anyway.
At this question, he lifted his head and gazed at the sky once more. His eyes were always fixed firmly on the moon. The one place I couldn't go.
You said there's a rabbit on the moon, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember what I told you? That rabbits have long ears. I can hear voices from miles away.
Yeah, I remember.
Back then, you said that ability would send the rabbit into despair. But I think you're a bit off the mark there. The rabbit was already in despair right from the start. He hears those voices because of it. That's why he yearns for the moon. Every time he sees it, he feels so sad and alone.
Stop looking at the moon.
Stop it! Smack! But moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems. They live in a utopia.
That doesn't sound like a utopia to me.
That just sounds like they live for a fucking long ass time.
That sounds like hell, actually.
Who never grow old and never, what was the other thing?
Have any problems. Okay, maybe.
Oh yeah, that sounds boring. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Problems make life interesting.
He knew painfully well just what he meant.
The rabbit wants to go home. To the moon. That's a different game, buddy.
It was his deepest, most desperate desire.
I thought about it. And you know what, Puppet? I think those ladies might be right. I'm a right mess of a person. I ought to be grateful they let me into their homes at all.
But
No,
they were caught.
no. No, that's the trauma talking. Stop it. I've got nothing to offer them. Nothing special in terms of looks. Just some funny clothes, no talent. I'm only useful as a servant. Well, buddy, guess what? In a different timeline... They only cared about me because I served a purpose to them. They never needed me. Hey, Poppet? Are you going to do what they did? And... No. Never mind. Sorry. That was stupid of me. Have I upset you?
No, I'm fine. Like I said before, I'm stronger than you think. You can get a little rough with me. I won't break.
Freezing.
Now, let's go home.
Right.
I took his hand and proceeded to drag him back to the cafe.
Oh no, he's so fucking broken. He doesn't know in real life. Oh, Spooky's thinking of a completely different game. So when I said that's a different game, I was thinking of the actual game To the Moon, which is a great game. You guys should check it out, by the way. The game that Spooky is alluding to is Rabbids Go Home, which is all about them collecting a bunch of trash to build a tower to get to the moon.
I see.
So, but the rabbits go, blah!
Mm-hmm.
Hello there, Poppet. It seems I've been worrying you as of late, so this time, I'd like to talk about something fun. One of the old grandpas who frequents the cafe says he misses seeing you around.
Should I be worried about your idea, Spooky? Oh. Okay. I had a feeling that was coming.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. We're literally doing the story of Kaguya.
Oh, I still have all those items on it. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Fuck yeah! Let's go!
Winning! Actually, you know what's really funny is that I do have a Red Bull right now, and it is the yellow one. Yes.
I have a can of Coke Zero. That's it.
Nice. Yes, you are on my head again, Peachy. Welcome home. Anyways.
I really like the matching sunglasses.
Yes, it's delightful.
I was like, oh wait. You forgot. Apparently you remind him of his wife when she was young. So I punched him in the face. How dare he gush about my girlfriend's smile right to my face? I have water too. I've just been drinking it all day. You've got all the men wrapped around your finger, don't you?
I mean, she is the MC for an Otome game, so...
It's cute but a little cursed. Oh, I agree. It's great. Our conversation reminded me of the day I first met you. Was it like a week ago? Well, actually, it's almost full moon, so it's like almost a full month now.
Yeah.
From the moment I laid eyes on you, I thought you were a friendly girl with a sweet smile. Everyone adores you, Poppet. To me, you've always seemed so perfect and untouchable. Poke. When we first started dating, you told me that we spent time together and made memories together. Our feelings would turn into true love. I missed a word there, but I'm gonna ignore it. Do you still feel that way? Do you still want to learn more about me? Yes, yes, absolutely, yes. Why is it that you're in a relationship with me, Poppet?
Because you asked and I said yes. Hello.
Because she loves you, you dip. Well, also because, why not?
Yeah, like he literally asked us out. Like, come on, dude.
It's just like, hey, you want to go out? Yeah, sure, why not? Come on in. Table for two? I'll have you seated over here.
The more Kaguya withdrew into himself, the more obsessed I become in turn, thinking about him at all hours of the days and night. Or just day.
Mostly day.
Then, one day. Ouch! I got distracted while I was cooking, and accidentally cut my left index finger with the chef's knife.
Hey, protein!
Oh boy. Watching the blood seep out from the cut, I was contemplating what to do when Kaguya walked in from the dining hall with impeccable timing.
Poppet, can I get 2 Darjeelings, a cheddar cheesecake, and a slice of apple crumble for...
Cheddar cheesecake?
Yeah, cheddar cheesecake. I mean, I guess if it's a cheesecake, you can make it out of different types of cheese, I guess.
Well, yeah, I can kind of imagine that, but it's still like a little hard to imagine like cheddar in particular being used for cheesecake.
Yeah, but like...
I'd be down to try it, but...
What's the cheese that they use for cheesecake anyway?
Cream cheese.
Makes sense. So it would be like a cheddar cream cheese. A critter.
Beautiful. Oh, hi Kaguya. But before I could ask permission to step away from my post to patch myself up. Kaguya stumbled backwards, his face white as a sheet. His elbow bumped a bowl, which went clattering to the floor. Kaguya? Tilting my head, I blinked at him. Then I realized he was staring directly at my finger. At the blood. Meanwhile, the bowl, which I had been using to rest my dough, had now splattered its contents all over the floor. Not the bread.
No, it's terrible.
Hey, what's going on in here?
Crimes against bread. Cinderella, crimes against bread.
Cinderella peeked in, summoned by the commotion. You hurt yourself? Yeah, a little. I really had to not add as a treat, like as a outfit.
Hurt yourself as a treat. Wait.
A little as a treat. Don't worry about it.
Wait a minute. As a treat.
Automatic responses are a blessing and a curse. As soon as he took in the situation, he immediately intuited what was going on. He walked up and looked at me intently. What's the order? What? The order. What were you making? Or do you not have one? Oh, right. 2 Darjeelings, 1 cheddar cheesecake, and 1 apple crumble for table number 3. Got it. And he set about brewing the tea without another word. Cinderella? Let's take care of this. So go have Kaguya patch you up. You can handle that, right, Kaguya?
Trauma face. Yeah. I mean, sit right here.
Arriving at my room, Kaguya wrapped my finger in the handkerchief I gave him.
Is it painful?
Nah.
Liar. You're hurt. Of course you'd feel pain.
Hmm. And so, Kaguya silently administered first aid. He was quite skilled at it, as if he'd done it all countless times before.
Because he has.
You just shred cheddar cheese and mix it in with the rest of the filling ingredients, including the usual cream cheese. Interesting.
I told you.
Yeah, like, I'm not surprised, but I don't know. I'm down to try it. It just sounds like a little weird.
It sounds good. Like, if you get a nice sharp cheddar, I feel like it'd be really good.
Definitely would be down to try it. I was about to ask if you read that, but that's me.
I was gonna say, and you have read it.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Damn, okay.
Honestly, you'd be better off paying a visit to the hospital.
It's just a cut on the finger, dude.
I mean, it could get infected, but...
I mean, yeah, but that's what the first aid kit's for.
Yeah, exactly.
For this tiny little cut? Nah, he'll heal up in no time. He averted his gaze, and I looked down at his left hand, where dozens of faint pink lines ran across his wrist. They were all centered on the same section of his arm, like an emblem of his suffering. But unlike the little nick on my finger, the scars weren't going to heal in an instant. Either they would fade with time, or quite possibly they would remain for the rest of his life.
Poppin', what can I do to make your life easier?
Well, first of all, stop running away whenever we make a mistake.
True.
Where did that come from?
Kaguya is starting to come to terms with the fact that he's actually loving someone for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn.
He didn't answer. That's the kind of question you have to ask yourself.
Me?
Yeah, what is it you want to do for me?
Well,
What do you want to do, Kaguya? Silence is loud.
Yes.
If the answer is nothing, then I don't need you to do anything.
Well, I can't just do nothing.
I wanted to ask because you'll feel like you haven't earned the right to be here, but I held my tongue. In that case, I'll do something for you. I'll hug you. Still seated on the bed, I pulled Kaguya into my arms.
Oh, is that a Linkin Park?
His breath brushed against my hair, and my heart welled with indescribable affection.
Doki doki. You always do so much for me.
He nuzzled his forehead against me, and it tickled slightly. Darn right, I'm your girlfriend, remember?
No. Sorry, I had to sneak that in there. My girlfriend.
That's right. I'm the girl you're meant to hug and hold hands with.
Sounds awesome. Sign me up. But are girlfriends meant to hurt themselves?
It was an accident, Kaguya.
I was gonna say, it was an accident. What the fuck?
Buddy.
I mean, we know a bit of his backstory, so...
As he spoke, he held up my hand and kissed the cut. Hurting yourself sure is fun, isn't it?
Isn't fun.
Isn't... Yeah, I can read.
I was gonna say, Saki, I didn't want to say anything the first time, but like, do you know what masochism is?
It's funny that I really did switch like the is and isn't around, which really changes.
Yeah, literally the ones in the sentence. You were just like, oh yeah, let's just flip those.
I can read so good. I'm just gonna perish.
They both have isn't it? Better flip them.
I'm so good at reading pro.
It's fine. We all make mistakes.
Can you feel my pain?
Yeah, I feel it. I think. It's kind of gooey on the inside.
I don't think that's how pain feels, but okay. Unless you're talking about bread.
Bread.
I love that the French word for bread is spelled like pain. The pun opportunities
That's so
are
funny.
great. Yes.
But also, if you have gooey bread, you might want to put that back in the oven for a bit.
Maybe.
Just a little bit.
A little.
So if you do like traditional bread stock, I don't think there's anything in there that would cause too much issue if eaten raw. Which is probably not great. I think the worst thing is that the dough could get stuck in your throat. That's about it.
Well, actually, flour is actually part of the reason why raw cookie dough is a problem, not just the eggs. So,
Oh.
yeah, so like unless you bake the flour first before you make the bread, that could be part of an issue.
Well, it's because it's like the cinnamon challenge where you put it in your mouth, it absorbs all the moisture, and then it just starts sticking everywhere.
Yeah, there's that too. Anyways, dying from undercooked bread aside, that night...
Cook your bread. Then you don't have to die from undercooked bread.
That night, we stepped out to go for a walk. As hard as I tried to keep Kaguya from looking at the moon, it never seemed to stick.
Ugh. Oh. Lovely moon tonight, ain't it, darling?
Yeah. His face and profile glowed beneath the moonlight. Beautiful, fragile, but most of all, melancholy.
Wait, is this the first time he smiled while looking at the moon?
Maybe.
Listen, Poppet. I'm not human. I reckon I'm actually a moon dweller. Little Delulu, but that's not a deal breaker.
What?
How would you react if I said that to you?
I would probably say, what?
Such a simple one, but damn, that got me.
Strangely enough, it was the same thing he said to me in the dream I had.
Oh, you're still on that?
Oh, yeah.
Probably let him go home.
First big save in this game. Totally never saved before.
Let him go home. Like...
Yeah, okay. If you love him, let him go, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you love him, let him go. If he comes back, he's yours. Something like that.
Gotta let the little birdie go.
Speaking about that, Rattle's the king.
If you didn't say that, I would have let you out. Damn. You ruined your chance.
Damn.
It'd be all too easy to cling to him. But instead, I suppressed my feelings and declared, if you were a moon dweller, and you one day had to leave this tarnished world behind, if it was what you really wanted, then I wouldn't stop you. It's hard to let go of someone, but if being on this planet was too much for you, I couldn't possibly make you stay and suffer.
Take me with you. 'Cause damn.
But I do have one question for you. Do you really think it's a utopia? Moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems. But would you really say that counts as true happiness?
Sounds like true boredom. Well...
He hesitated and looked away, but as I was waiting for him to find his answer...
Kaguya-kun?
Kaguya?
Just then, a voice called out from behind.
the trauma face is back.
Gasp! I rolled around to find a woman standing there, but this time it wasn't one of his exes.
Oh, I knew it was you. I can still recognize you even after all these years. I'm glad to see you're doing well. Everyone was really worried about you, after everything that happened. They were afraid that you might still feel guilty about it. Someone knows her. Or someone knows Kaguya. And it's not crazy ex-girlfriend.
Gasp. The moment she laid eyes on him, the woman smiled and started to speak fondly of the past. His past. Pardon me, but... As Kaguya hesitated, I decided to speak up on his behalf.
Oh, right. Sorry to interrupt your conversation.
No, it's fine. So, you know Kaguya?
Yes, I do. He used to stay at the facility where I worked.
Oh, where was that?
The big mansion at the top of the hill. It was an orphanage called the Bamboo House.
An orphanage? She pressed a hand over her mouth in a oops gesture.
Oops. Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry. Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Kaguya. I looked at Kaguya to gauge his reaction. I found him grimacing with the hand clutching his forehead. Kaguya?
My head.
He staggered sideways and collapsed on the spot. Kaguya! He slid an arm around his shoulders and helped him into a sitting position. Clutching his head, Kaguya started to sweat bullets, his complexion ashen. And then...
Oh no, he's turning into Cinderella. Kaguya screaming.
That's fun.
That is a fun one.
I take it he remembers something.
I was just thinking that.
Kaguya, snap out of it, please. Kaguya.
And this is what happens when repressed trauma suddenly comes to the surface.
Wee. All at once, he broke down. Nothing I said or did got through to him.
Meanwhile, someone, keep it down out there! We're trying to sleep!
He simply smacked my hands away and screamed to drown out whatever I said. Then, eventually, he lost consciousness completely. Yeah,
I love how the music just cut out right there, just like, okay, cool. He's done.
Yep. Moment's over, guys. Pack it all up.
Okay, this must be from Kaguya's perspective
then.
then.
Yeah, it has to be.
Why wasn't I good enough? What did I do to upset them? What did I do to disappoint them? What did I do to make them so miserable? What was I supposed to do? You hear the static voice too, or is that just me?
I heard it too.
Great.
Okay.
Even if I knew it was an impossible task, I still couldn't say no.
Can I go back to the log? No? Damn, that's just not fair.
It wasn't recorded in the log. It was just part of that cutscene.
Because I kind of wanted to listen to it again to see if I could maybe figure anything out from my little bit of Japanese knowledge, but...
I'm pretty sure it'll get clearer the more we find out about his past.
Probably.
Because that seems like it was a core memory of trauma. After all, if I said no, they'd decide that I was useless. I was scared. Scared of getting yelled at, of getting punched, being ignored, of being treated like a burden. All of it. I spent my whole life reading people. I spent my whole life smiling. But in the end, I couldn't accomplish a single of their impossible tasks. So they abandoned me. I had nowhere to belong. No one wanted me. Then one day, she told me that this world was tainted. So why not fly like a bird across the ocean to someplace far, far away? To the moon!
No way. An orphanage. Yeah, according to the woman, he used to work there. After Kaguya lost his parents, he got shuffled around from relative to relative until he ended up at their facility. She said he was always cheerful and well-behaved, never complained, never threw a tantrum. Sounds like he hasn't changed much. Then how'd he end up with amnesia? Trauma. No idea. Apparently he didn't have these symptoms when he lived there. But at some point after he moved in, there was an incident. An incident.
Yes, at the local chemical plant.
One of the orphan girls jumped off the roof and took her own life. Ugh.
Took off her what?
Took off her livelihood.
Oh wow. I didn't know you could get that in a hood.
And he witnessed the whole thing. Yeah, okay. Understandable. Have a nice day. Obviously, he wasn't the one who pushed her or anything like that. But the girl was a close friend of his. Oh, that's worse. So her death was extremely traumatic for him. He started rejecting food and water until he was nothing but skin and bones. Oh. But after some time afterwards, Kaguya left the orphanage, and the woman didn't know what happened to him after that. Gotcha. Imagine all of those things added up to the point that Kaguya's brain wanted to forget. Are we just playing chaos and now all of a sudden, what the fuck? Don't worry about it. He forgot in order to protect his body and mind, so he wouldn't break. Yeah. If his memories are that traumatic, then maybe it's better we let them stay gone. I mean, for the record, if the guy's got nowhere else to go, then I don't mind keeping him here. Not like I ever had a use for these extra rooms. Plus, he's a good employee. You guys are fine with that, right? I don't think it's a good idea to keep him here in his current state. Then what are you gonna do with him? Send him to the moon?
To the moon!
What? Why the hell not? You were the one who nagged me to let him stay in the first place. Or do you want to dump him at the hospital so you don't have to deal with him? Damn. It's not that. I don't think he wants to be here. He's going to leave
Choice,
sooner
do
or
we send him
later.
to the hospital?
See, I kind of figured it out. I realized why he looks at the moon, and why it makes him sad. From his point of view, the world is tainted. Being here makes him lonely and miserable. So he yearns to go to the moon. An ultimate escapist fantasy. But once he got up there, I guarantee he'd be bored out of his mind. Granted, I do get why he feels that way.
He'd be bored of his mind for about a couple minutes. Then his head would explode.
Yeah. Oh,
ま、
no,
いいや。
whatever. If you need
なんか必要
anything,
なも
say
ん
the
があれば
word
言え
and
よ。
I'll get it for you.
用意はしてやる。
Cinderella is so good. Okay. Thank you, Cinderella. And with that, the two of them left my room. I stepped into Kaguya's room and sat down beside him. This is my first time seeing him asleep. The expression on his face was perfectly peaceful, as though his earlier traumatic episode had never happened. I reached out and gently stroked his bangs. It was rare to see him without a smile plastered on his face. Only when he was asleep was he able to lower that shield. All this time, he never let anyone see the real him. I couldn't even begin to imagine how lonely he must have been. I knew these things, yet I forced that pain on him. The truth of the matter was, he never really wanted to remember. My gaze drifted to the exchange diary on his desk. I lifted myself up slightly, grabbed it, then sat back down and opened it.
Hi-san, konnichiwa.
Hello, Puppet.
この頃、日記を読み
Lately,
返
I've
すの
gotten in the
が
habit
癖
of
になってしまいまし
rereading
た。
all our old letters.
日記を読み返してみると、
It's fun to reflect on the past and reminisce about what was going on at that time.
とても楽しい気持ちになります。ひいさんに合わせて始めた日記ですが、
Originally, this
今
was
では
your
僕
idea,
の方が心
but
待ちに
these
しているので
days,
す。
I find myself looking forward to each new entry.
文章って不思議ですね。
Strange how letters
同
work
じ
in
言
it.
葉を交わすの
We're
でも、
not speaking face to face, and yet we can
相
still
手の
hold a
顔を見なくて
conversation.
も成立します。だからこそ、
It's
偽
easy
る
to
こと
lie,
も簡単
and
で、
it's hard to read the other person's
限られた
emotions.
言葉の中で
All I can do is
相
imagine
手
how
の
you
心
must
情
have
を
felt
読み解くの
writing
は
each
難しく
word.
て、
It's new
君がこの
and
時ど
different.
ういう思いで書いたんだろうと、君が言う通り、
Like you
僕
said,
は
I'm a bit
他人
sensitive
の
to
言葉
other
に
people's
少しだけ
opinions.
敏感です。それは
See,
僕が
I'm
人の
always trying
顔
to
色を
read
伺ってい
people.
るからです。僕は
I use their
この人
facial
は
expressions
今
and
何を思ってい
behavior
る
to
のか、
determine what it is they're thinking at any
その
given
人が放
moment.
つ雰囲気や表情、でも
But that
文章には
doesn't
それがあり
work
ませ
here.
ん。ひいさんの文章を見ていると、
Whenever I read your
いつ
letters,
も
I
笑って
imagine
い
you
る姿が
smiling
思い出されま
the
す。
way you always do.
僕の予想は
Would you say
当たってい
that's
ますか？
accurate? Please rate 0 out of
あと
10.
読み返していて思うのは、
Another thing I
ひい
noticed
さんと出会
rereading
っ
the
てから
letters
すごく月日が
feels
経っ
like
た
it's
よう
been
に感じ
ages
ます
since
が、
we started dating.
実際
It
は
hasn't
そんな
been
こともな
long
い
at
のでは
all,
ないで
has
しょう
it?
か。君と出会って
A lot's happened since we first got together. That must be why it feels like it's been longer.
長い間、
Or
僕は
maybe it's
記憶
because I
喪失
got
じゃねえけどな。
amnesia.
これからもできれば
If possible,
君と
I'd
こう
like
し
to
てや
keep
り取
having
りを
these
したいと
fun
願って
chats
し
with
まう
you.
のは
Would it be too much to ask?
僕のわがままでしょうか。
It's called a quirk, Peachy.
ひいさん、こん
Hello,
にちは。
Puppet.
いつも心配かけて
I'm
しまって
sorry
ご
for
めんな
stressing
さい。
you out like I have been.
僕がひいさんにしてほしい
I
こ
don't
と
need
はあり
I
ま
don't
せん。
need you to do anything for me. You already do so
いつも
much.
ひいさんに
I
はよ
feel
くしてもらってい
guilty
る
adding
の
to
で、
your plate.
僕にできることは
All I can really do in return is wake up early and finish our daily task ahead of you.
仕事を先に終わらせること。でも、
If
そ
I
れを
do
すると
that, I have
今
stolen
度は
all
ひ
your
いさん
work,
の役目を
and there won't be any
僕
left
が
for
奪う
you.
ことになってしまうんですよね。なんだかすごく難しいです。
Tricky, isn't it? I can never seem to repay you.
僕は
This is the problem I'm struggling with most of as of late. Hello, puppet.
今日も記憶のない僕のため
Thank you
に
for spending another day
いろいろと
trying to help me with my
動いてくれてありがとう。
memories.
朝も昼も働い
You
て
already
も
have to work in the mornings and
夜まで僕
afternoons,
のために
and
時
now
間
I'm
を使っ
stealing
て
your
くれ
nights
て
as well. I'm
ごめんなさ
sorry.
い。僕のことはいいから
Don't worry so
無
much
理はし
about
ない
me.
で
Just look after yourself and get
自
some
分のことを
rest.
気にしてください。僕は
I'll be
大丈夫で
fine.
す。ひいさん
I'm sorry you've had to suffer
僕の
because
せ
of
い
me,
で辛い
puppet.
思いをさせてごめんなさい。僕は君の彼氏なのに
I'm your
君
boyfriend,
のことを
and yet all I seem to do is hurt you.
好きな人が他の人と仲良
It's
くし
not
ているのを
fun
見
to see
る
the
のは
person you love having fun with other
あま
people.
り嬉しく
I
ない
get
こと
that.
なのだと。記憶のない僕が言っても
Maybe it's not very
信
convincing
じ
coming
ても
from
らえないかも
amnesiac.
しれないけど
But believe me when I say this.
君
I
のことを好
only
きだ
love
という気
you.
持ちは他の女の子も女の子みんな
Every
可
girl
愛い
is
と思っ
sweet
てる
and
けど
lovely in her own way. But you're the cutest of
ひい
them
さん
all,
が一番
and
可
I
愛いし
adore you.
ただ
It's
僕
just,
が思うのは
at this point, I can't help but
もし
wonder
本当に記
if I
憶を
do
取り
get my
戻したら
memories back, what will happen to these
気
feelings I
持ちは
have?
どうなってしまうんだろうということです。僕は消えても構いません。ただ、ひい
I
さん
don't care if I disappear. I'm just worried about leaving you
君
behind.
のことだけが
Over the course of many entries, Kaguya had written, "I'm sorry," countless times. Every apology from him made my chest tighten. I picked up a pen and started to recount my feelings on the paper. By the time I finished writing, Kaguya's dark eyelashes started to flutter. So I closed the diary and put it back where I found it.
ひいさん。あれ、
Puppet,
僕、
what happened to me? It's called a psychotic break, buddy.
Yeah, probably traumatic flashbacks happened too.
Probably some emotions that you didn't quite understand and were brought back to the surface.
You know, normal things.
Yeah, normal traumatic response things.
Back in the waking world, Kaguya slowly opened his eyes. Oh, Kaguya, thank goodness. His eyes were empty and unseeing at first, but then they gradually regained their light.
僕は
I
ああ、せや
oh
確か
now I
知
remember.
ってるっちゅ
We
うおば
ran
ちゃん
into
が
someone who used to know me.
そんでその
And
人
while
が
she
話
was
してるうちに
talking,
頭が痛くなって
My head started hurting.
思い出そうとしたんやけ
I
どな
did my best to try to
あかん
remember,
かった
but
わ
seems it didn't work. That's what you call not working? Okay.
Kaguya's lips curled in their usual smile. Likewise, I donned a false smile of my own. As he lay there, I leaned in and drew my lips to his ear. You don't have to smile anymore.
What?
He gently laid a hand over Kaguya's eyes and pressed my lips to his. Only a few weeks had passed since I first met him and agreed to be his girlfriend. And only now had I come to understand him as a person. Who hurt Kaguya? I think the short list is who hasn't hurt him, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the shorter list is Reikyu.
Yep.
Hasn't hurt him.
I don't think Snow's hurt him either.
Well, Cinderella's also hasn't hurt him.
Cinderella
directly.
punched him.
But, like, emotionally traumatized him. He hasn't done that yet.
Not yet. And only now had I come to understand him as a person.
I just want to talk.
After that, I stayed at his bedside at all times to care for him. Kaguya, open wide. Nobly on a spool full of piping hot porridge, and brought it to his lips.
なんかめっちゃはずいな。
This is a bit cringy, isn't it?
Embrace it. Embrace the
Life is cringe.
Oh, shush. I'm your girlfriend, so just let me. And with that, I slid the porridge into his mouth. Because I know if I didn't do this, Kaguya wouldn't eat, period.
めっちゃうまい。さすがひいさんやな。
Lovely. That's my papa's cooking, alright.
Though I told him he didn't have to smile, he showed no signs of stopping. But I didn't press him on it. Instead, I decided to let him be. I needed to make all the right moves at all the right times, or else checkmate was imminent. Yup.
Trust me, honey, we know.
As my gaze drifted from Kaguya to the exchange diary, he perked up.
それな。ごめんな、僕が止めて。
Write that.
しばらくの
Sorry, I've stopped writing.
僕が預
Would
か
it
って
be alright if I held onto it a bit longer?
No, I don't mind. Feel free to write back whenever you want.
ごめんな。
Sorry.
For what?
いや、
Well,
ひいさんに
I've
迷
done
惑ばか
nothing
り
but
かけ
cause
と
you
るな
trouble.
思て。
What trouble? Me blowing on your porridge for you? That's no trouble at all. If anything, I'm actually enjoying it. He laughed weakly.
そうやなくて。
Not that.
よそもんが
I
こ
met
こに
a
置かせてもらって
stranger
る
like
ん
me
や
and
か
you staying here.
ら。なんかせ
And
な
you
あか
having
ん
to
や
look
ろ。
after me.
You're not a stranger anymore at this point, buddy.
I was gonna say, you almost fuck. You're not a stranger at this point.
My smile faded. His did not. Trying to keep my voice level, I asked, "Do you have your memories back?"
いや、
No?
Okay then. To tell the truth, there were times that I suspected he might remember more than he was letting on. Granted, even if he didn't, after talking to those 5 women, it was obvious what happened to him and how he felt about it. He was emotionally devastated, and it was having adverse effects on his physical health. And I was the one who orchestrated it all. I shut my eyes for a moment, then opened them once more. Dating is kinda weird, huh?
What?
His eyes widened slightly in surprise. I meant the concept in general. I mean, we're 2 total strangers. All that connects us is a physical and emotional attraction. We have no blood ties, and yet it feels like we're almost family, don't you think?
What?
I decided to keep going. Kaguya, who am I to you?
恋人やな。
My girlfriend?
Sonotori! I shot him the finger guns.
Finger guns, let's go!
Which means it's okay to lean on me when you need to. It's okay to ask for help. You're allowed to have needs. I'm your girlfriend. It's what I'm here for. I smiled at him, and he smiled back, but I could tell it was fake. I would do anything, whatever it took to heal him. I just didn't know what he needed.
Kaguya の具合はどうだ?
How was he? Is it clear to...
Dead.
Not yet.
To the
hopefully.
world. Sorry. I know that could come off as...
As I cleared away the dishes, a voice called out to me from behind. Oh, hi, Cinderella. I toweled off my hands and turned to face him. He's not out of the woods quite yet. He insists it's fine, but he gets massive headaches whenever he stands or sits upright. The problem is, he keeps trying to do it anyway, which worries me.
He's just like me, for real, for real.
He seems to think he owes us some kind of labor in order to deserve to live here.
そっか。
Gotcha. Cinderella, was I wrong to do this? I wanted him to get his memories back, and as a result, I hurt him. I say I'm acting in his best interest, and I'm only making him suffer. Am I just arrogant?
さあな。
Couldn't tell you.
俺は
That's
あ
the
い
kind
つ
of
じゃね
question
え
you
か
gotta
ら
ask
わ
him.
かんねえよ。
Right.
ま、あん
Just
ま
don't work
気合い入
yourself
れすぎ
sick,
て
alright?
倒れんなよ。
He patted me on the head. I won't. Thanks. Question marks. No. Just him. Okay. I heard the creak of the floorboards and looked up to find Kaguya standing on the stairs.
I'm doing it! I'm doing it!
Kaguya, you shouldn't be out of bed. I rushed over to his side, but he moved away.
平気やって。
I'm fine.
Then he awkwardly averted his gaze. Huh?
おい、無理すん
Seriously,
なって。
man. Don't force yourself if
具
you're
合
not
悪い
feeling
んな
up
ら
to
寝と
it.
けよ。
Just get some rest. Cinderella walked up beside me. Kaguya met his gaze and stared back fixedly.
シンデレラさんはほんまええ男やな。
You're a proper stand-up bloke. You know that?
は
What?
あいや、 まあそりゃ
yeah,
そうだけど。
totally. Where did that
な
come
んだよ、
from?
突然。
It was an invitation for Kaguya to continue the conversation, yet he made no attempt to do so. He was smiling, but the light in his eyes was wavering, like he had something more he wanted to say. Obviously, you have to grab Kaguya's arm, right?
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully. You don't look well. I think you need a rest. I grabbed him by the arm insistently.
は
Oh.
I'll take you back to your room now.
あ、せやな。
Right.
ほんならお
I
願い
reckon
する
I'll
わ。
take you up on that. Don't tell me he's forgetting again.
シンデレラさん。すんません。
Sorry, Cinderella.
He inclined his head slightly, but his voice was tinged with the faintest hint of joy. No. Aren't you sleepy?
うん。
Nah.
When we arrived back at Kaguya's room, we sat down side by side on the bed. Kaguya's hand was gently resting on mine.
シンデレラさんってええ人やな。
Cinderella's a good man, yeah?
かっこよくて
He's
気前もいいし
handsome,
気
he's
遣いも
generous,
するし
considerate.
Kaguya, are you
Totally my
taking
type.
Yeah, Cinderella's a great guy.
Hmm.
What brought this on? You got the gaze?
いや
Nothing
It's not-
really.
The warmth of his hand was swiftly replaced by empty air. Damn. I took that as my cue to rise to my feet.
ヒーさん
Pop it.
I glanced back, and our eyes met. Yes?
いや
It's nothing.
Liar. Oh, okay. Well, let me know if you need anything.
わかったわ。
Alright.
Phew. Out in the hall, I let out a breath. Just then, I heard the door open one room down. Then I saw dirty dishes slide out from the gap and... What are you doing?
What was that sound?
Beautiful, beautiful. He pulled the door open further, and Alice fell flat on his face. Poor Alice. Oops, sorry. I crouched down to help him up. You goddamn gorilla! Ow! He leapt to his feet and karate chopped me as hard as he could. You don't have to hit me that hard, you jerk. I'm a fragile flower. Not cool, Alice. Grumbling, I clutched my throbbing head. Still trying to play the victim? I see you haven't learned a thing. Newsflash. You're the villain here, you dunderhead. Dunderhead? Sometimes he whips out some really vintage insults. God, you're the worst. When you saw the door open, surely you should have figured that my hand was on the knob. I mean... But instead, you chose to yank it open. Thanks to that, I gotta play kissy face with the floor. What? Were you homeschooled or something? Or did they not teach you deductive reasoning in special legs?
Wow. Alice is going off today. I love it.
He's on something, that's for sure. Give me the cold shoulder, are you? You're always so petty. Would it kill you to apologize and let me save face? I think it's a little late to save your face after that nasty fall. Ha ha ha! Thanks for that wonderful, funny joke.
I mean, there's always reconstructive facial surgery.
That's a reward. I'll cast a curse on your relationship. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Please no. Anything but that. I clasped my hands together, beseeching him. You must really want things to work out with him. Well, unable to be together, the prince and princess part ways. A tragic tale with no happy ending in sight. Oh boy. Tragic. Of course. Granted, the reader might find it beautiful in its own way. The reader's opinion has no bearing on the characters within the story, and they would most certainly find it tragic. No, you're right, Spooky. You're right. Right. Personally, I do everything in my power to make him stay, no matter what it took. How disgustingly possessive of you. Is being possessive really that bad? Yeah? Yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah.
Depends. If it's your cell phone, then no. If it's another human being, then yes.
I mean... Are you suggesting it could in any way be a good thing? Oh wait, that was the wrong Alice voice. Oops, I got distracted. Hang on, let's redo that. Are you suggesting it could be in any way... Okay, are you suggesting it could in any way be a good thing? It's just a human desire like any other. The problem is, I'm out of time. Where's the wizard? Sometimes time is what solves problems, but time is limited. You never know when you'll run out. You only have a week left until the next full moon. So we have a week left, got it. Thanks, Alice. I guess we'll see what you're made of. Each of Kaguya's latest suitors had forced him to serve them. This knowledge filled him with deep, deep darkness. The princess of the Looking-Glass world sensed this and requested to speak with him. But no matter how deeply she yearned to see him, he would never show himself. Anytime she tried to drag him out, he would always hide. And so, as Kaguya and the princess found solace in one another, 3 weeks passed. The full moon would soon be upon them, and Kaguya frequently became lost in thought. He mustn't look at the moon. But no matter who forbade it, Kaguya would always find a way to sneak outside alone, gaze up at the moon, and cry.
I want to go back to the moon.
Sick of this tainted world, he yearned for the moon night after night. Just 1 week left until the next full moon. After seeing Kaguya's reaction when I grabbed Cinderella's arm, I decided to take a gamble, but we grabbed Kaguya's arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we grabbed Kaguya's arm. What?
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 Instead of hovering over him 24/7, I would purposely give him space. So, I slightly reduced the amount of time I spent with him, and instead spent that time with other people. We grabbed Kaguya's arm, whatever. So Cinderella told me we should go into town together for a change of pace. Whenever I talked to Kaguya, I made sure to mention other guys, like Cinderella and Snow White, whether he asked about them or not.
そうなんや。
Right.
そりゃあ、ひいさんは誰から見ても素敵な女の子やし。
Well, anyone can see you're a lovely girl. I can't blame you for wanting to spend time with them instead of me. What the fuck is going on here?
I feel like we maybe messed up a choice somehow and didn't see the wizard immediately.
Huh?
I'm so confused. We'll just
I mean, we've messed up choices before. I'm just thinking, like, where?
yeah. He was still smiling, like always. But I knew better. I knew exactly what was concealed beneath it. The sadness he held in his heart. But I never commented on it. I never made any demands of him. I never asked him to hug me or hold my hand. Instead, I just waited. Then, when the full moon was just a few days away, having physically recovered, Kaguya returned to work at the cafe, and from an outside perspective, things went back to normal. But we grabbed Kaguya's arm.
Yeah,
I'm still
what?
hooked up on that. Welcome.
Yeah, same.
Come on in. Instead of relegating myself to the back, I worked in the dining area, like I did before Kaguya came along.
ひいさん、ここは僕が
I
やるから。
can handle this, Poppet.
No need. You're still recovering, so go ahead and take it easy.
Ooh.
おーいウェイトレスさん
Hey, waitress!
Be right there. Talk to you later, Kaguya. This way, I had a perfectly sound excuse to maintain my distance from him. Sorry for the wait. Meanwhile, I was all smiles and affection with the other guys.
I don't understand the plan here either.
I
Like,
don't either.
is it trying to make him jealous? Like, that's not gonna say, like, oh, I should stay with you. It's gonna be like, oh, so you're just like all those other chicks.
I think Alice hit her too hard on the head.
Probably, honestly. Or she's going through her villain arc.
Maybe. After a few days of this strategy,
It didn't work.
ひいさん、はいこれ。
Hey, here,
お客さ
Poppet.
んに持ってって。
Take this to the customer for me.
sure thing. I took the food from him and turned to leave. But Kaguya refused to let go of the tray. What is it? I turned back and peered into his eyes inquiringly. He looked away, avoiding my gaze. A few seconds of silence passed, and then he spoke.
You're the worst.
あの、
Listen, Poppet,
Interrupted by the door chime, he fell silent again, and I let go of the tray altogether. On second thought, could he take it to them? And with that, I turned away.
ちょっと待って。
Hang on a minute.
Huh? At this, I turned back to face him once more.
やっぱ、そっち僕がやる
I'll
わ。
take care of him. So can you take this
Listen,
tray for me?
こっちをお願いしてもええかな。
What for?
どうしてって。
Well,
それは、
I followed his gaze and found the regular customer standing there. He was fidgeting nervously as he cradled a big bouquet in his arms. Oh.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna get going. We can't keep the customers waiting, you know.
うん、
Right.
任せとき。
Off we go.
And so we went our separate ways. I don't know. Sorry about the wait. Thanks for coming by. Feel free to have a seat anywhere you like. I greeted him with my usual smile. Do you already know what you'd like to order?
あの、
The thing is,
Yes?
ずっと前から君の
I've
ことが好きでした。
loved you from the moment I first saw
よか
you.
ったら
Please be my
僕と付
girlfriend.
き合ってください。
Blushing beet red, he offered me the bouquet of bright white flowers. At this sudden confession, murmurs broke out all around us, almost like it had been sent back in time to a few weeks ago. I glanced over at Kaguya, who was chatting with a female customer. The instant our eyes met, though, I saw his expression shift a tiny fraction. With that confirmation, I turned back to the regular and accepted his bouquet with a smile. Hello?
What? Wait, what? Oh, fuck?
Thank you.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Did you get sent to a parallel universe?
I guess so. After the cafe closed, we were in the middle of cleaning up when Kaguya hesitantly struck up a conversation.
ひいさん、
Say,
ちょい話があるんだけど、
I need to speak with you.
今、
Is now a good time?
Sure, no problem. Oh, but first, let me figure out where to put these lovely flowers I got. But right as I was about to put the flowers into a vase.
Oh.
Out of nowhere, he grabbed my arm and shoved me away from the bouquet. Rake you sound? My back slammed up against the wall.
What the fuck?
The impact toppled the vase, and the flowers tumbled out onto the newly mopped floor, where he promptly stomped on them. Oh boy. Kaguya. Next, he rounded on me.
なんで他のやつ見える
Why are you flirting with other men? Keep that saucy smile to yourself! Oh.
If he used any other adjective, pretty much, I feel like I would handle that sentence a lot better, but he had to say saucy.
Saucy?
他のやつから受け取ったんや
And why would you accept gifts from them? You already have a boyfriend! You're taken!
僕は
I don't want some other bloke to have you!
僕は
I want you for myself! Reikyu Arasu!
君が欲しい
As I remained silent, the anger on his face morphed into something halfway between laughing and crying.
こう言えばええんか。
Is that what you wanted to hear?
これが
Is that what you wanted me to
ひいさ
say?
んの欲しかった言葉なん。なあ、ひい
Why?
さん、
Hobbit, why?
なんで僕を試すようなことをするん
Why are you testing me? True, why is this bitch testing him? Like, goddamn.
毎日毎日他の男と話
Did
し
you
て
think I was
僕
too
がどう
stupid
反
to
応する
figure it
か試して
out?
たんやろ
You were rubbing these other guys in my face every single day. Testing my reaction, weren't you?
ああ
So tell
僕
me,
を試して楽しいか
was it fun?
陰で
Were
僕
you
を笑い
having a
物にする
laugh
つもりやった
behind my back?
なあ僕が何も気づ
Did
か
you
へん
think it
男やと
wouldn't
思った
hurt me? Did you think I'm some happy, smiley robot? No,
違う
you never thought that.
ずーっと前から
You figured it out a long, long time ago. Maybe before I even did.
僕が
The truth is,
本当は
I'm
誰よりも
quite the opposite. Christ,
なんでそんなひどい
how
ことが
could you
でき
be
る
so cruel to me?
なあ自分にとっ
Did
て
you
僕は
ever
本物の
actually
恋人や
see
ったん
me
か
as your boyfriend?
なあ
Go on then.
なんで
Why won't you
さっきから
say
何も
anything?
喋ってくれへんのああなんか言うてや
Say something, damn you!
僕のことが嫌いになったんなら
If you're sick of me, if you
僕の
don't
こ
need
とを
me
いらなくな
anymore,
ったんなら
then just break up with me,
僕を振ってく
please,
れ
Puppet.
He cupped my chin and tilted my face up. I didn't resist. Instead, I stared back at him, my expression perfectly emotionless. Water flowed from his dusky eyes, but he didn't seem to notice.
ひいさんが僕を傷つけるんなら
If you're gonna hurt me, then
僕も
Maybe I'll hurt you back.
キーさんのことを
As he spoke, he reached for my throat. Oh dear.
ごめん
Sorry.
Choking out an apology, Kaguya bolted from the room.
Secretly toxic? What the fuck? Okay, we're going into Kaguya's story now. Let's go.
Yep.
Silence.
自分を傷つけるのはやめろ。
Oh, okay.
そんなことしても
Stop
お前
cutting
が
He
言う
is
好きに
cutting
はいけねえよ。
It's not gonna help you go to the moon or whatever you call it.
シンデレラさん
Cinderella.
Can they romance each other? Actually, I think that may be a
I
good
mean,
option.
so far it's the healthiest ship in the entire game. Oh,
Let them be
I mean,
gay.
it's physical. It's passionate.
Mm-hmm.
They understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could see it.
Yeah.
よ、
Can I come
入っ
in?
てもいいか。
何言ってますね
Of course you
こ
can.
こはもともと
It's
シ
your
ンデレラさん
property, ain't
の
it?
場所やないですか
ま、
Good
そうだ
point,
な。
I guess.
Yeah, Cindy hasn't fucking gaslit him. Yeah, exactly. It's like the healthiest relationship we've seen this entire route, honestly. They just have to work on the whole communication
ま
part.
どろっ
That's
こ
it.
しいのは
Yeah.
鬱陶しいんで、直
I don't like
球
to
に
beat
聞くけ
around
ど
the bush, so I'm gonna be
お前
blunt.
本当は
You already got your memories back.
記憶を
didn't
取り
you?
戻してんだろ。なんであいつ
can't
に
you
はっ
just
きり
tell
と
her?
言わない。
言うまでもないです
Don't reckon I need
彼女
to.
はもうとっくに
She
気
put it
づいて
together
ますよ
quite some time ago.
でなけれ
It's the only explanation I can think of.
あんなことって
Explanation for what?
ばわざと僕に
For why she
気づかせ
shove it in my face like that?
気づかせる
Shove
って
what in
何
your face?
Boo!
シンデレラさん
Cinderella.
僕は
I reckon I'm afraid of her.
彼女は光り輝いて見えて
She's a perfect beacon
一
of
緒にいる
light.
と
She makes me feel
自分
ugly
の
when I'm
惨
with
めに
her.
思えてくるんです彼女は綺麗で
She's beautiful,
時々残酷
and
で
yet
す
sometimes she can be so cruel. She
全て
puts
を
a
明ら
spotlight
か
on
に
all
す
the
る強い
things I'd
光で
rather not see.
見たくないものまで見せてしまうこっちが見せたくなかったものまでお見
She
通し
sees right through me, sees everything I'm trying to
僕を試
hide,
すんです
and then she tests me.
彼女と比べたら僕は
Compared
罪
to
人のような
her,
もんです
I'm a criminal. And yet, whenever she smiles,
彼女の
forget
笑顔を
all
見
of
る
the
と
sins of
罪
my
すらも忘れ
past
て彼女に
and
甘
cling
くし
to her light.
そのことが
It hurts so
めちゃめちゃ苦しい
terribly.
です
ま、
Yeah,
お
I
前
mean,
の気
I
持ち
can
もわ
relate.
からなく
She's
は
a
ね
little
えけど
too
な。
perfect, you know?
あい
できすぎですか
Too
確
perfect.
かにそうか
I
もしれな
reckon
い
you
で
hit
す
the
ね
nail on the head.
なら
Honestly,
手の届かない場所に
I
いて
wish
ほし
she
かっ
could
た
have stayed out of my league where she belongs.
手を
Only
伸ば
she
しても
kept
決
her
して届かない
distance and
場所
never once noticed me.
シンデレラさんは
Cinderella, how do you feel about her? About
彼女のことをどう思
Reikyu
ってますか
Arasu?
別
Just
に
a way to get
どう
extra
も思って
points.
ねえよ。
Yeah. Can't say I care about her one way or the other. Well then,
って、
is that what you
言っ
want
て
me to
ほし
say?
いか
Or should I say she's the
それと
girl
も
of my dreams?
あいつ
What
は
will it take
俺
to
の大
satisfy
切
you,
な
huh?
女だ。とでも、
そんなこと
No, I
僕
don't.
は
俺の意見
Look,
なんて
man, my opinion of
どうだ
her
ってい
doesn't
いだ
matter.
ろ。
Even if I was
た
madly
と
in
え
love
俺
with
があ
her,
いつのこと
doesn't
を好
change
き
the
だ
fact
ろ
that
う
you're
が、
her
どうも思っ
boyfriend.
ていなくても、
True.
あいつの恋人はお前なんだからな。
恋人って
What does it mean
Let's go.
to date someone anyway? You are asking the wrong fucking person, just saying.
恋人ってその人のことを欲しいと
Does it mean you need them?
体も
Their
心も
body? Their
何
heart?
もかも手に入れたいと
All
いう
of it?
ことなんですか？僕はそのことにも気づかず、
I hadn't worked that out when I first asked her to be my
人に
girlfriend.
なってほしいと言いました。こんなことになるんなら、
If I had known it'd turn out like
こんな
this,
気持ちだと知っ
if
て
I
いたら、
known I'd feel this way, I would have
僕は
stayed
彼
away
女
from
に
her.
近づかなかった。僕は
Because the truth is, Reikyu
彼女の
Arasu,
ことが
she,
僕は
she's
彼女
made
に気
me
づかされているん
realize
です。
something.
ここのところ、
I know she's been
わざと彼
flirting
女
with
がシ
you
ンデレラさんや
and other men in front of me
他の
on
男と
purpose to
仲のい
try
い
to
とこ
make
ろを
me
僕に見せつけ
jealous,
て、だからこそ
which is why I did my best
彼
not
女
to
の
take
策
the
略に乗
bait.
るわけにはいかなかったんです。でも、もう遅かった。
But it's too late.
彼女と離れるには
I've been with her too long to
彼
leave
女と
her
一緒に
now.
いる時間が長すぎました。彼女は僕のものだと。
She made me need
彼
her,
女の隣にいるのは
made
僕
me
でありたい
want
と。
to be with her,
彼女は
to keep her for myself.
何度も何度も僕に彼女が欲しいと思わせる。物扱いは嫌だ。
I don't want to treat her like an object. Oh, good. He realized that he was objectifying her.
人は彼女のも
People
のじゃない。
aren't possessions, and neither is she.
そう
I ought to know that better than anyone.
僕は分かってるはずなのに。だけど、
But right
僕は
now,
今
I need her to
彼女を
be
欲しいと思っている。
mine.
僕は最低だ。
I'm despicable. I'm no different from the
俺じゃ
people who
僕を
treated
物
me like
扱
a
いした人た
toy.
ちと何も変わらない。きっと
And after what I did for her, to her, I'm sure she hates me now.
僕は彼女にあんなひどいこと。僕は地上にいすぎて、
Being on this tainted planet has tainted me as well.
僕はも
I want to go home. To the
そん
moon.
なに月に帰りたいのな
Then
ら
why don't you just go?
月に帰ればいい。
Damn.
Snow.
白雪
Snow. Were you
お
listening
前
the
そ
whole
う
time?
聞いてたのか。
Snow. I don't think you're reading the right signs here, Snow.
Snow, please.
彼女が光り輝いて見
You think she's a beacon of light?
える。どうして
Then
彼
why
女
did you
のそ
stay
ばに
with
いた
her?
の？彼女が眩
Is
し
she
す
so
ぎて
perfect that she makes you feel
自
ugly by
分の影が
comparison?
深くなるこ
Then
と
why
が
didn't
分
you
かって
just
い
keep
る
your
のだ。
distance?
最初から彼女に近づかなかったらよかったじゃないか。それとも
Or if you took
最初は気づかずにいたのなら
if it took you a while
気
to
づ
figure
い
it
た時
out,
点
you
で
could have simply left
彼
her
女
the
から
second you
離
put
れれ
it
ば。
together.
Blah, 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 blah.
でも君はそうしな
But
か
you
った。
didn't do any of that. Why not?
なぜそうしなかった？君が答えない
If
と
you
言
don't
う
want
の
to
なら
answer, then I will.
俺が答えてあげよう。結局
When it comes down to it,
君は彼
You
女
wanted
に
her to
追いかけ
chase
て
you,
欲しかったんだ
didn't
ろ
you?
う。自分を好きだというの
You
な
were
ら
tactically instructing
そ
her
の
to prove that
志
she
が
would
並
go
大
out of
抵
her
で
way
は
for
ない
you,
ことを証明
to
して
prove that
み
she
せろ
truly
と。
loved you as much as she claimed to.
君は彼女に暗黙のうちに命じていたんだ。そして
And if she accomplished
君
this
の出した難題を
significant
こなせ
task,
たなら
you would finally
そ
believe
の
her
女
love
は
to be
真実の
sincere.
愛だと。よ、なんて傲慢な
How
んだろう
very
ね。
arrogant of you.
しかも
Not only that,
君はそんな
But you
もの
knew
は
no
誰
one
も
would
こ
ever
なせない
succeed.
と分かっている。実現不可
you
能
use
な
this
無理な
impossible
難題を
demand
相
as
手
an
に
excuse
押
to
し付け
reject all forms of love.
最初から愛を否定している。
そんなことは
That's not
ない。
true.
今までだって
At no point in time did you ever
君は
truly
本
try
当
to
に
kill
死のうと
yourself.
したことなんて
right?
なかったんじゃない？本気で死ぬ気
You
なん
didn't
て
actually
なかっ
want
た
to
から
die. So instead,
手
you
首を
just cut yourself.
最初から死ぬつ
You
もり
weren't
なん
really
かなか
planning
っ
to
たか
commit
ら
suicide. So instead,
手
you
首の
just added
傷だけ
another
が
scar
増
to
え
the
ている。
pile.
本気で死のう
If
と
you
思
were
っていたら
seriously trying to kill yourself,
手首
you
を
had
切る
chosen
だ
a
なんて
far
言
more
わず
efficient method than merely
もっと
slitting your
確実な
wrists.
方法はあったはずだ。少なくとも
At the very least,
君
you
は
know
そ
there
れ
are
を知
better
ってい
methods
た。
out there. After all,
なぜなら
you've seen it firsthand.
君は
Damn.
人が天に
I
昇
mean-
る瞬間を見てしまった。
Damn, Snow.
やめろ
Wow. Stop!
やめろ
Stop.
やめてください
Please. Just stop.
君が言った通り
You're right. It was actually the same as the people who
君
treated
を
you
物
like a
扱い
toy.
にした人たちとなとても傲慢
You're
で
just
罪
another
深い
arrogant,
地上の
flawed
人
human being
間
from
だよ。
planet Earth.
Kaguya was from Earth?
Yeah, he's unfortunately human.
Damn.
Damn, Snow just really humanized him when he didn't want it.
Damn.
Kaguya? When I next visited his room, Kaguya had vanished, of course. Are we gonna see the wizard? I had seen this coming, of course. But now that his empty room was my new reality, my throat felt hot and tight. Desperately, I bit back a sob. Then I squeezed my eyes shut, took a deep breath, and felt the urge to run outside and search this town from top to bottom. When did he disappear anyway? He had vanished without a trace, almost as if he never existed to begin with. The room was so spotless. I never guessed someone had been living in it as recently as a few hours ago. I thought back to the
Damn.
last time I visited his room. It was spotless then, too. He must have taken great pains to keep it perfect. He was terrified of inconveniencing people, so he suppressed himself as much as possible. For years.
Wait, the dialogue's different.
Huh? You know,
There might not be a wizard.
the only thing he left behind was the exchange diary, sitting on the desk. Somehow, I found myself drawn to it. I picked it up and started flipping through. Dear Kaguya, thank you for your questions. I appreciate you asking, because it's proof that you're taking the matter seriously. And I appreciate you thinking of me. First, yes, I do still think that making memories together will determine whether our love is real. Absolutely. Granted, maybe our relationship is a little out of the ordinary. Admittedly, it felt kind of slutty to agree to date some guy I never even met before. And truth be told, part of me was reluctant. I think I wrote about this in my first letter. On a related note, remember the conversation we had about instinct? I posited that humans are born with the ability to recognize their likes and dislikes on an instinctual level. Furthermore, memories are the foundation of an individual's identity. Ultimately, I believe that I was instinctively attracted to you, on a deep subconscious level.
Posited.
But instincts are merely knee-jerk reactions. Yes. Quite literally. The human consciousness resides in the receptive surface layer and is easily influenced by memories. At the moment I met you, I wasn't thinking consciously. That's why I wasn't confident what I felt for you was love. But things have changed now. After spending time with you and making memories with you, those memories have in turn convinced me that I'm in love with you. Now that I'm fully conscious of my love for you, I'll slay it flat out. Slay it? Kaguya.
Slay it, queen.
I fell in love with you right from the moment I first saw you. Love at first sight. Now, as for why I'm dating you, I think I might have already answered that question.
The wizard told me to.
But if it would help you to see it in writing, I'll write it here as many times as you need me to. Or I'll say it out loud if you prefer. I love you, Kaguya, and I want to be with you. I need you, and you need me back, Kaguya. That's why we're together.
Codependent relationship. Let's go.
Now, you'll notice I use the word need. You are allowed to have needs of your own. But I understand you're struggling with that right now. I know it might hurt you to read this. I can only imagine the sort of pain you must feel. Perhaps, by trying to get your memories back regardless, I've done more harm than good. I know my words won't mean much to someone who doesn't believe in themselves. No matter what I say or how many times I say it, I'm sure it'll all sound hollow to you. But I'm still gonna keep searching for a way to heal you. Lastly, I'd like to ask you something. How do you feel, now that you've made so many memories with me? Why is it you chose to stay with me?
And then Kaguya's response on the next page.
This is the most recent entry I had written to Kaguya. The one I wrote while he was asleep. I was so desperate to heal him at any cost. I experimented with all sorts of methods. Even when I knew it would hurt him, I couldn't stop myself. But then after I hurt you, you left me. Oh, Kaguya. Without your memories, you probably felt like you had nowhere to belong. And you still probably feel that way. But the fact of the matter is, you're a part of this family. I met you. I spent time with you. As proof of that, I got about a month's worth of love letters in my hands. You flip to the next page.
Let's go. Response time.
ひいさんへ、
Pop it.
これが最後の日記になります。
This will be my final letter.
お別れの時が来ました。
It's time for me to say farewell.
もうすぐ満月になり、
The moon is nearly full,
僕は月へ
and
と
I
帰るで
must
しょう。
return.
月に帰るためには、
To do so,
今までの
I
衣服を
must
脱ぎ
cast off my old robes
元
and
の
return
姿
to
に
my
戻らな
original
ければな
form.
りません。ただ、
But
そ
first,
の前に何か
I
一
thought
言
I'd
でも言
leave
っ
you
てお
with
かなけれ
one
ばなら
last
ないことがあ
message.
り、
This diary entry in the form of a letter.
あなたに手紙ならぬ。すでに気づいているとは思いますが、
As I'm sure you already realized,
僕は
I've remembered
全てを
everything
思い出し
now.
てしまいました。隠すような真似をしてごめんなさい。
I'm sorry for hiding it from you.
また、
And I'm
その
terribly
ことで君を
sorry
傷つけるようなことをし
if
て
my
しまった。
doing so has hurt you.
本当に。僕の過去については、
Now, I'd
今
like
か
to
ら
tell you
語ろうと
about
思
my
いますが、
past.
少
But
し
be
長
warned,
くなるかもしれないこ
it's
と
a
を
rather
先に断
long
っておきます。
story.
それと、思い出
I'll
し
be
ながら書
writing
いて
this
いるので、
purely from memory,
ところどころ曖昧
so
な
it
部
might
分
be
や
vague
拙
or
いところがあるか
confusing.
もしれません。それでもよければ、
If you're willing to
ご
forgive
覧
these
ください。
things, then by all means, keep reading. Here we go.
今日からし
I'm
ばらく
excited
の
to find
間
out how fuck.
うちで預かることになったから
We've decided we're gonna take you in for a while, starting today. For a while. In other words, this arrangement wasn't permanent, and eventually I would have to leave. So there I was, living in someone else's house. While they were supposedly distant relatives, to me they were no different from strangers. It was hard to believe we had any sort of connection. This feeling was apparently mutual, because they all walked on eggshells around me.
まったく面倒なのったな。
Good grief. What a hassle. Everyone around me saw me as little more than a strange and inconvenient burden. And eventually, that was how I started to see myself too. At the first house, I was practically invisible. They gave me food and a place to sleep, but they didn't care about my presence one whit. We never spoke. I didn't fit in. Even at mealtimes, I ate my cold food alone, long after the rest of the family had finished theirs. I was excluded from their casual conversations, almost like I was isolated to a separate dimension. Not that it didn't make sense. Why would anyone smile at a stranger? Maybe if I had made them laugh, I guess. It was the only thing I can think of. Following this realization, I learned to adapt my personality to suit the whims of those around me, like an actor or a clown. Ah, the feeling of alienation. Understandable. Have a nice day. Why do you talk like that? I didn't care if they jeered at me. I just wanted some kind of reaction. I'm not mute. Eventually, I was forced out of the first house and sent to the second. At the second house, they made me work to earn my keep. I said yes. This is like when you mask the autism, or at least try to. I said yes to whatever they asked, be it cooking, cleaning, laundry, or helping run the shop. According to them, since there was no proof that I was actually related to them, I needed to pay them back for the privilege of living with them. If I didn't work, I didn't deserve to eat or sleep, and if I talked back, they hit me. Not that it didn't make sense. In this world, it costs money simply to exist. Yep. Too much money. But I didn't have any money, so my only option was to offer up my labor instead. And so, Kaguya learned the evils of capitalism. Hence, I decided to work harder than anyone else. Even if I didn't stand to profit from it, anything was preferable to getting my ass beat.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
True. I'm not worthless! Then I was forced out of the second house and sent to the third. At the third house, I used what I'd learned from the first two houses and made sure to be friendly and considerate. This seemed to pay off because the adults took a liking to me. They dressed me in nice clothes, fed me well, and let me live comfortably. I put in effort in order to earn their love and affection. To me, this was simply how the world worked. But it didn't last forever. One day, a scandal broke out. Oh no! Fortunately, the fire was contained before it could spread, but when its source was traced back to the kids' room, an interrogation began. The children of the family pointed at me. Or the child of the family. Oh, this is stuck up bitch, isn't it?
I think so. The one that
the one that's like,
burnt cloth.
oh, they paid more attention to him than to me. Oh, boo-hoo. I saw him start the fire! It was a bald-faced lie, of course. But it was my word versus hers, and she was a better actress than me. The adults never questioned their own child. Instead, they turned on me without hesitation. After everything we did for you! Not that it didn't make sense. Who would believe me over their own biological child? An unloved child would never win out over an adored one. Following this realization, I started making more of an effort to read people, to toe the line at all times. I couldn't let myself have needs. Anytime I needed something, it would only inconvenience someone else. So I decided to wear my smile like a mask. I'm not a robot! Beep boop, beep beep boop. And so, I was kicked out of the third house and sent to the fourth. The people in the fourth house were barely related to me at all. There, I was the butt of every joke. But I always smiled at them. No matter what they said or did, I kept on smiling like an idiot. They'd get annoyed or creeped out, sure, but that was the worst of it. One day, they decided to play a prank on me. I dropped something important in the lake, and I want you to go look for it. One look at the smirk on her face, and I knew she was lying. But even if I called her out on it, it wouldn't have changed anything. So I pretended to go along with it. As I searched desperately for a treasure I'd never find, they watched me from a distance and laughed. Then it started to rain, and they all went home without me. At that point, I could have safely given up, but nevertheless, I kept searching in the pouring rain.
ない
I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere.
何もあらへん
As the rain beat down on me for hours, my mind started to go fuzzy, and eventually I forgot exactly what I was supposed to be looking for. When I finally looked up at the sky, I found the clouds had cleared and I could see the full moon. How lovely, I thought to myself. What could such a pretty moon be hiding up there? Oh, this is the start of the Delulu phase. Let's go. I thought about the moon for a while, and then when I looked back at the ground, I noticed a shard of broken glass on the lake shore.
Oh boy. Yep.
Guided by the moonlight, I picked it up and pressed it into my wrist. Pain shot through me, and my fuzzy mind sharpened. Only then did I truly feel alive. I feel pain like anyone else. After I was rejected by 4 different families, I ended up at an orphanage called the Bamboo House.
この子のことですが、栄養失調と
This
風邪な
child
どに弱り
shows
きっていて
signs of malnutrition,
虐待の痕
illness,
跡も
and
見られます。
physical abuse. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
そうですか。
I see. Well, don't you worry, my boy.
もう安
You're in
心していい
good
ん
company.
だよ。
We're all comrades here.
君と同じ。
はい
Okay. The orphanage was nothing like the houses I'd lived in thus far. The people I lived with were total strangers with no blood relation to me, and like me, they were all children with no family. The adults set the rules, and we obeyed them. There were a lot of restrictions, but adhering to them was easy, so I didn't mind. But no matter how much time passed, I've never fit in with the rest of them. I wasn't one of them.
ほら食べや
Here, eat up,
Bunny.
Bunny. Everyone at the orphanage had chores to do. My job was to look after the pet rabbit,
Bunny.
Bunny. It was work I enjoyed. The rabbit couldn't talk. It couldn't make demands. I didn't need to worry about what it was thinking. It was the only time I felt truly at peace. Then one day, one of the girls spoke to me.
うさぎさん好き？
Do you like bunnies?
I do. I sure do.
They're okay.
Wow.
I could hardly believe it. It was the most popular girl at the orphanage. Her most striking feature was her smile, soft like moonlight. Oh. It finally clicked who this is. As the oldest ward, she helped look after the rest of us. She was kind and beautiful. I always watched her from afar as she soothed the crying children. And I was so starved for affection, I got attached to her right away. She talked to me about all sorts of things. She told me about her past and how she ended up here. Apparently, she lost her parents at a very early age and had been there ever since. But she didn't lament her circumstances, nor did she look for someone to blame. I admired her more than I'd ever admired anyone. She would always look up at the moon and say to me, The moon is home to beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems.
まるで姉ちゃんみたい
Sounds like
な
you.
そう
You think so?
なら私はいつか鳥にな
In
っ
that
て
case,
月に帰
I'd
ろう
like
か
to
な
fly like a bird back home to
そ
the
の時
moon.
は君
You'll
もつ
come
いて
with
って
me,
く
won't
れ
you?
るよね
Sure. Sorry, I just realized that she just made him agree to like a pact,
Yep.
a certain pact that I won't say. I wanted her to like me. I wanted to see her smile, so I did everything in my power to make her happy. When I was with her, I had so much fun. For once, I felt happy. Sometime later, I overheard the staff gossiping about her.
まさか彼女に子供ができるなんて。
Oh no, the plot thickens.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe she got herself knocked up. According to them, she was pregnant. Granted, she had seemed a bit quiet and green around the gills. But given how good she was at taking care of us, I was confident she would make a great mom. So in order to make her smile again, I snuck out of the orphanage to buy her a present, knowing full well I would get in trouble for it.
これあげるわ
This is
丈
for
夫な
you.
赤ちゃん
I hope you have a
生まれるといいな。
happy, healthy baby.
ありがとう
Thanks. It was a good luck charm for expecting mothers, shaped like a seashell. I couldn't do much to help her with the pregnancy, but I figured I could at least pray on her behalf. When I gave her gift, she smiled. But at that time, I didn't realize that the brightest beacons only deepen the shadows. The following night, she said to me,
ねえ今から一緒に付き合ってくれ
Say, could I borrow you tonight?
え
Hmm? Yeah, sure. I wasn't sure where she was planning to go so late at night, but I did as she asked. She led me by the hand, and together we snuck out of the orphanage.
どこ行くん
Where are we going? She didn't say a word. Oh, yeah. Oh, Peachy. You're starting to piece it together. She was walking ahead of me, too, so I couldn't read her expression. Eventually, we arrived at the very top of a nearby office building. She let go of my hand and reached up to the moon.
ねえ知ってる
Did you know,
月の世界と違って
unlike the moon,
地上は
the
汚れ
earth
て
is
いる
tainted? And after living here for
そ
so
んな
long,
汚れた地上に
my
いるから
body's been tainted too.
私の体はもう
汚れてる
Tainted. My heart raced at this sudden confession. Not in the romantic sense, but because I had an inkling of the tragedy that was fast approaching.
そう
Yeah,
前に言ったでしょ
remember when I told you
私は
I
いつ
want
か
to
鳥
fly
になっ
like
て
a bird
月に帰ろうか
back
な
home to the moon?
その時は
you
君
said
もつい
you'd
てっ
come
て
with
くれ
me?
るよね
言ったけど
I mean, yeah, but
ついにその時が来たんだよ
well, that time has
今日はいい
come.
月の日の夜
The moon is perfect tonight.
今
The
から
moon
月の
dwellers
使
will
者
send
に
a
やってきて
messenger to bring us
私
back
た
home
ち
with
をあの
them.
月に導いてくれるのだからツバメみ
So
た
why
い
don't
に
we
海
fly
に
like
渡
a
り
bird across the ocean
遠い
to
ところに
someplace
飛んでいきま
far,
しょう
far away? What
するんだ
about the baby? A dark shadow fell over her expression.
もちろん一緒だ
It's
よ。
coming with us, of course.
この汚れた地上で育ったら
If I tried to raise it
私
here on
みたい
this
に
tainted
汚れ
earth,
てかわいそう
it
で
would
しょ。
end up tainted just like me.
だから
Tragic, right?
そうなる前
That's
に
why I
こ
had
こ
to
を
leave
離
while
れ
there's
る
still
の。
time. Some part of what she said felt wrong to me, and it filled me with fear. Good, that is the proper response.
行かれへん。
I can't go with you.
なぜ？あなたも
Why not?
私と同じじゃない。
We're birds of a feather, aren't we?
Bird mention.
I am not going to be part of that flock. As she spoke, she rolled up her sleeves. Oh, she's going to show that she has. Yep. Her wrists were lined with dozens of scars, just like mine. Instantly, my fear was confirmed. She was asking me to die.
Bingo.
君も月に憧れてる
Ding,
んでし
ding,
ょ。
ding, 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 ding.
こんな地上なんか捨てて一緒
We,
に月
we
に帰ろ
both
う。
long for the moon, right? So let's say goodbye to this twisted world and go home.
いやいや、
No,
僕は
I may be tainted,
汚れていても
but I'd rather be
地上
here.
がいい。
I don't want to go to the moon.
好きになんて。
As she closed in on me, I stumbled backwards. Her soft, sweet facade had all but vanished.
Soft.
なんで？なんでよ。一緒
Why
に連れて
not?
きてくれるって言って
Why not?
こんな
You
ものなん
said
てい
you'd
ら
come
ない
with me. I don't want this worthless charm.
That
I
is
know,
the point,
PG.
Peachy.
That's
Congratulations.
the point. It's supposed to put you off.
私は
I want you. She screamed and lunged at me. It was an impossible request, just like all the others. And if I didn't accomplish it, I would be thrown away. They're both a little delulu.
Mm-hmm.
She's more further down the rabbit hole than he is.
Yeah.
But I couldn't sacrifice myself to her. I just couldn't. So I ran from her. Rabbit hole. Spooky saw that fun I sneaked in there. For once, I actually did it. Yeah, that's right. All this time, I wanted nothing more than to run away. Away from my suffering, away from this tainted earth. The next day, I learned that she was dead. She had gone back to the moon, just like she wanted. To the utopia, full of beautiful, opulent people. The place where people never grew old and never had any problems. The place I would one day have to return home to. Would my real parents be there, waiting to welcome me in open arms?
I'm willing to bet money that the answer is no.
Yeah, 100% no. In which case, what was I still doing here? If this place actually needed me, then why did everyone abandon me? If this world was tainted, then why did I choose to be here? Kaguya, sir, you are a child right now. Please think some thoughts that aren't destructive. I mean, to be fair, has anybody given a reason to have a thought that wasn't self-destructive?
Yeah.
Like, his whole world right now is built on pretending that you're perfect, pretending that you don't have problems, and making sure that nobody has a problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn, trauma be like, yeah, trauma be deep. Was it to atone for my sins?
僕は 誰なんやろ。
Who am I? Anyway. So I locked my memories away and turned myself into a blank slate.
Kaguya. I murmured his name. Tears poured down my cheeks and trickled into my mouth. My sight was now so blurry, I couldn't read the words in front of me. Anger and sadness descended upon me, tearing my heart in two.
Me too.
Sob. Sniffling and wiping my tears, I kept reading.
Oh shit, we're back. Okay.
He-san.
Puppet. I wonder how you're feeling right now as you read this.
Horribly sad.
Horribly sad and traumatized. I locked my memories away of my own free will.
Understandable, have a nice day.
I hurt myself and made myself forget, all to protect myself. But in the end, all I was really doing was burying my head in the sand. When you forget about something, all you're really doing is putting it up in the attic. Even if you can't recall what happened, it doesn't erase the fact that it did indeed happen. You're a clever girl, so you probably already worked out that I was going to leave you. I'm a weak, pathetic man. Now that I got my memories back, I can't stay on this earth any longer. My one fear is that you'll hate me for biting the hand that feeds me and leaving only this letter behind. But even then, I deserve it. Not only do I owe a debt to you, but to Cinderella and Snow White as well. It's been 1 month since I moved in with you all. Thank you so much for the kindness you've shown me during my time as an amnesiac. I will eternally treasure the memories I have of the days I spent with the three of you. Farewell.
And that was the last thing he wrote. Ultimately, I would never discover his answer to my question. Or maybe he just didn't have one. Sob. Tears rolled down my cheeks. Kaguya. Kaguya! No matter how many times I reread the diary, no matter how many tears I shed, it didn't change anything. I was unable to stop her prince. The princess could only watch as he returned to the moon. And so, she read the diary he left behind and mourned for the rest of her days. The end.
Fuck you.
Who are you? Good evening. Lovely mood tonight, isn't it, fucker?
This
The perfect...
Wow. What a line to come in on.
Yeah. The perfect night to end such a beautiful story.
Oh, and then that follow-up too. He knows what he's doing. Fuck you.
Story? Yep. And nothing makes a story shine like a little tragedy. I mean, yes, but I don't care how shiny my story is. I couldn't heal him, and now I'm dying inside. I failed his task. He must be rather full of himself to reject the princess of this land. So what will you do? Will you try again?
Nah.
Is that even possible? Of course it is. You can try as many times as you like. That's how it works here. I mean...
Game being meta.
In that case, I'll try again as many times as it takes. Hell, I'll start over from scratch if I have to. I want to heal Kaguya.
It might be time to break out the guide.
Even if you have to die. Of course, I'll gladly give up my life to help him. And that's the spirit, little heroine. The story isn't as straightforward as the others. You have to be persistent.
Damn.
Before we pull up guides, I do want to double check that one last.
Yeah, because it said we picked Cinderella, which is like just wrong.
That's at least what the dialogue said.
I was gonna say, did we like fat finger it or something?
No.
No.
Okay.
Like the game has said we grabbed Kaguya's arm.
Okay. Well.
Alright. Guide time?
Yep.
So we need to think here.
Think some thonks.
Okay, look up a guide. Cool. Awesome. You wanna just go from the beginning and just do every choice again?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Why? We're just gonna be full autoing through it anyway.
I just want to go back here and pick Cinderella.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know why I had to pick Cinderella's arm, but okay.
I mean, there's definitely has to be some reason for it. Like, that's definitely when shit starts being weird again, so...
Yeah, exactly.
And there's, like, more choices after this that we didn't come across, too, so...
Yeah.
Cinderella. I grabbed his arm. What was I doing, you ask? Kaguya's behavior towards Cinderella had given me a new hypothesis, and I was testing it. Polyamory, let's go.
The boys.
Cinderella seemed to intuit what I was angling for. His expression softened, and he put a hand on my head. Just then.
Don't touch her!
So we just sped ran that long con. Okay, understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah, span ran the long con.
Kaguya grabbed Cinderella's wrist and pulled his hand away from me.
They're on the
Kaguya.
stairs.
Yeah, huh. Well. He gasped and rolled back to face me. His expression slowly twisted into a pained grimace. His usual smile was gone, and now the true Kaguya was unmasked.
That's odd. Why did I do that? I apologize. It wasn't my intention.
He quickly tried to smooth things over, but he seemed genuinely confused at his own emotional outburst, because his smile was stiff and awkward. What was that about?
Yeah.
Oh, well...
I donned a smiling mask of my own to conceal my true intentions. Nope, that's previously read.
Yay! This whole segment can be just summed up as emotional damage!
Yeah.
I really like how they twisted this one. Because, like, all of the fairy tales up to this point have been kind of slightly twisted, but this one's like, oh yeah, what if going to the moon was, like, a pact?
Yeah. What if going to the moon was actually just suicide?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we finally figured out where the suicide tax came in. Ooh.
No, that can't be right. There has to be an answer. I read back through the diary again and again. This was not a farewell letter. It was a challenge.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. That's as much as I'm going to sing because we're going to get DMCA'd.
And if I was going to prove, once and for all, that he didn't truly want to say goodbye, I was going to heal him, that I needed to solve the problem he had laid out before me. Just then, the window flew open, and a strong gust of wind blew in. Gasp! The gust ruffled my hair and made my diary pages flutter. What was that? I looked out the window to find a beautiful moon peeking out through a gap in the dark clouds above. Evidently, that sudden gust had carved a hole in them. Moonlight streamed into the room, gently illuminating me as I stood before the glass. Then my gaze lowered to the diary, and I realized there were imprints on the last page where something had been erased. Oh. The letter stood out faintly beneath the beams of silvery light. At the instant I read those words, I dashed outside as fast as my legs could carry me.
Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
I got you. I think this actually might be his POV right now.
Oh yeah, that night I was at the lake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because this would be like what after he got out of the lake searching for stuff. Because
No,
he's talking about that night in the past.
I don't think it's a past scene, but it
Oh.
doesn't have like the normal border that normally is when it's Reikyu.
That night, I was at the lake. No one ever came here at night, and as such, it was a perfect place to say my goodbyes.
こないなところでお
All
別
the
れするなん
places to
て
do it. I'm such a miserable prat.
なんてひどい男なんやろな。
This is the same lake where we had our first date.
Oh yeah.
And we've come here a few times since then as well. It was a dick move, but this was ultimately the deciding factor when it came to choosing a setting for my final farewell.
ひいさん。
Pop it. The clouds drifted across the sky, the moon peeking out from behind them. At last, the moon was full. As I waited to see the moon, the night deepened, and before I knew it, it was midnight.
結局、記憶を
In
取
the
り戻して
end,
も。
getting my memories back didn't change a
僕は僕
damn
の
thing
まんまや
about
った
me.
な。
Cowardly, mistrustful, spineless, and arrogant. That was me in a nutshell. Without my memories, I wandered around aimlessly, entrusting myself to the various women who've come into my life. Why women in particular? Because guys are too cute. Admittedly, something about them made them easier to be around. But more than that, I think I just wanted to be loved. Loved and needed. It was something I've never gotten to experience. And somewhere deep down, I yearned to find someone who would sincerely love and need me. But in the end, it never lasted long. I'd quickly discover some annoying trait they had, then I'd find a sharp object, erase the memories, and find a different girlfriend. Ironic, isn't it? Every time I erased something, I left a new permanent mark. I knew cutting myself wasn't going to end my life. But once I forgot my time with them, I wouldn't feel the need to. You used this impossible demand as an excuse to reject all forms of love. Yeah, that's right. I tested them. All to make them prove that they would go out of their way for me. And whenever they fail, I would erase my memories and disappear. How unbelievably arrogant of me. I claimed to want love, and yet I reject it in all its forms. Ultimately, no one ever fulfilled my impossible request. But even then, I still felt I was happier without my memories. No painful emotions, no problems or worries. Without my memories, my smile was genuine. Or so I thought, until I met her. Reikyu Arasu was the first girl I ever approached of my own volition. I was visiting a cafe with my girlfriend at the time, but even then, Reikyu's radiant smile stole my heart. Straight away, I was captivated by her beauty. None of the girls from my past could hold a candle to her sparkle. Blimey, you're one fit bird. Will you go out with me? Looking back, I probably wouldn't have had the courage to ask her out on the spot if I still had my memories. But even after we got together, I kept my amnesia a secret. After all, what did I stand to gain by coming clean? Again and again, I quickly found that my lack of memories was an asset to me. The myriad scars on my wrist were proof of that. And if I was better off with amnesia, then there was no need to cure it. I chose to respect the choice that the old me had made. You lost your memories on purpose, didn't you? Anytime a problem occurred, I would just wear my smile like a mask and coast through it. No one's ever figured me out. Except for Reikyu Arasu, that is. She saw through me, like I was made of glass. They say never underestimate a woman's intuition, but hers was something else. When she said she wanted me to get my memories back, I was terrified. I wanted to stop her, but I couldn't. That was one thing that remained constant about me, whenever I had my memories or not. No matter how much I hurt myself, I could never find the courage to die. I kept telling myself I would be better off dead, and yet I couldn't pull the trigger. What a weak little worm. After I got my memories back, I took off my new clothes and changed back into my usual heavenly robes. As I was folding them up, I thought about the conversation I had with Cinderella and Snow White. Apparently, they caught on to my not-so-secret feelings. As with her, I owed them a lot. But once I changed back, those feelings vanished. Hi.
You going back to the moon now?
Yeah. I was never meant to stay on this planet as long as I have. I need to go back now.
You know she'll do anything in her power to stop you, right?
It won't work. Even if she locked me in a tower and donned a set of armor, she'd never prevail against the moon dwellers.
Probably not, no. Moon dwellers are on a whole different level from Earthlings after all.
I do wish I could have had a little more time with her, but you can't always get what you want.
You can't always get what you want.
You're talking to the wrong person to say that too.
I thought you hated taking orders from people. I'm sure you want to go to the moon.
Yeah. I haven't got a choice.
Alright then. I guess that's that. Hey Kaguya, have you ever given any thought as to why you were born here on this tainted earth? If your purpose here is to atone for your sins, then what do you suppose those sins are?
Well... I contemplated how to get to the moon. Hang myself? Jump off a roof? Jump off a bridge? Carbon monoxide poisoning? Overdose on pills? Light myself on fire? Freeze to death? Electrocute myself? The options were limitless. However, I wanted a quiet death that wouldn't inconvenience anyone. Lake. Ultimately, I decided to take advantage of the lake's surface. You see, the reflection of the moon on the water looked almost like a staircase made of light. If I swam out that far, surely I can make it to the moon. I swallowed a few of the anti-anxiety pills I kept hidden on me. Yo, he bumming off Gretel's supply? That way I'd be too doped up to change my mind partway through. I closed my eyes and imagined a world full of light. The moon was home to beautiful, opulent people who never grew old and never had any problems. It was truly the perfect utopia. I felt the light against my eyelids and opened them a tiny fraction. There I saw someone riding down to me on a cloud.
月の国の王子様。あ
I've
なたをお
come to
迎えに上が
collect
りま
you,
した。
Moon Prince. Was this voice merely a hallucination, or... I didn't have a choice. My only option was to obey. Not much different from Earth, then, is it? As I stared blankly up at the night sky, I thought of her.
さようなら、ひいさん。
Farewell, Puppet.
Gasp. Wheeze. I nearly overlooked it. The secret message at the end of his letter. Oh, wow.
Damn.
ひいさんへ
Puppet,
思い出を積み重ねて
you wanted to know how I feel now that I made memories with you. And the answer is
そ
clear.
んなの決まっています。僕はひいさん、
Puppet, no. Forget the silly pet name.
君
I
のことが
love you, Reikyu.
好きです。君を好きになればな
And
る
the
ほど
more I love you, the more I want you.
僕だけを見て笑ってほ
I
しい。
find myself wishing you'd give your love and attention and
僕
kindness
以外に
only
優し
to
くなんて
me.
しなくていい。他の人なんかの
I
もの
don't
になら
want
ない
any
で
of
ほ
it
し
to
い。
go to someone else.
君といると
When I'm with you, I
僕は
feel
どんどん
myself
わがまま
getting
になってい
more
き
and
ます。
more needy.
君を物扱いなんて
I
したく
don't
ない
want
の
to
に。
treat you as an object. And yet I so desperately want to tell them you belong to me. Reikyu.
君に告白したのも
The reason I confess my love to you,
君と付き合
the
ったのも
reason I chose to date you, is because
君
I
のことが
love
好
you
きだから
and want to be with you.
一緒にいたいと思ったからに決まっています。僕は
I
君が
need
好き
you, and you need
僕
me
は君
back,
を求め
Riku. That's why we're
君
together,
は僕を求めるから
Riku.
今
As I
お別れ
don't
と
don my heavenly
天の羽
robes
衣を着る
and
時に
prepare to
初
bid
め
you
て
farewell, I find my heart
君
aching
をし
for
みじ
you.
み思い出します。
When I arrived at the lake, I saw Kaguya wading out into it. Kaguya! The moon's reflection rippled as I ran out into the dark water.
ひいさん、
Puppet,
なんでここに
what are you doing here?
Kaguya froze, like he was too startled to process what he was seeing. You never do take me into consideration, do you? For him, the water only came up to his knees, but for me, it came right up to my thighs.
Damn.
If he waited out any further, things were bound to get complicated.
ひいさん
Pop it.
I grabbed him by the collar and slapped him across the face. You know what? Fair.
Do it.
My palm stung. And for the first time, I realized that hitting someone meant both people would get hurt.
Yep.
Glaring sharply, I shoved myself away from him. Don't underestimate Detective Reikyu. I see right through you, and I know exactly what you're thinking. I knew you would choose to drown yourself here. You love the moon, and this place has a great view of it. Plus, you're probably navel-gazing about the moonlight or whatever, right? I spoke quietly. At any time of the day, I could have seen his face, but unfortunately, the moonlight wasn't enough. You want to go to the moon? Why dress it up in poetry when you can just say you want to die? I wanted to provoke him. I wanted him to fight back. Why? Because it was 1,000 times better than letting him bottle himself up behind his smile.
それだけ
Is that all you wanted to say?
Nope. Tell me, Kaguya, do you know what this is? I held up the item in my hand, wrapped carefully in cloth. As soon as he caught sight of it, his eyes widened.
何って
Of course
それは
That's... A kitchen knife?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's the correct option.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, because, like, the exchange diary is kind of done, honestly.
Yep. The exchange diary leads to bad ending 11.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway. Knife! What do you have there, Reikyu?
A knife!
A knife!
It's a kitchen knife. I brought it with me from the cafe. Cuts really well, you know. We sharpen it every day. I could prove it's real, too. I pressed the blade to my wrist and slid it from thumb to pinky without a moment of hesitation.
Oh, damn.
I had been pushing down very hard, but nevertheless, the piercing pain made me grit my teeth. A thin light of blood gleamed beneath the moonlight. See? It's real. I smiled at him to hide my pain. A challenging smile.
そんななんで
What are you doing with that?
何を
Oh, you know, knife things. His voice wavered as his expression stiffened.
僕を
Are you
殺すんか
going to kill me?
No, of course not. I looked directly into his eyes and continued. I read your letter, and now that I understand your past, now that I understand your feelings, I want to say this again. I want to heal you, Kaguya. It'll take more than a roof over your head to clear away the darkness in your heart. No surprise there, of course. After all, I wasn't there for you during the hardest parts of your life. Talk is cheap, am I right? It would be all too easy to lie to you. From your perspective, everything I say probably sounds like total BS. So I get it. I won't earn your trust with words. Instead, I'll prove to you that I love you with my actions. Holding the knife in both hands, I raised it high into the air. Will you stab yourself?
Well, you've gone this far, so yeah.
Yeah, let me just triple check the guide though, just to be 100% sure.
Pretty sure it's yes.
Yeah, it is. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to be absolutely sure at this point. We're too far in.
She started this whole thing with, I'll prove it with actions. If she's gonna bitch out of her actions, then, like, there's no point to do this.
I mean, if you want a bad ending, you want to see the wizard again, but let's not.
Let's not.
Not this time. Reikyu scream.
Danganronpa.
And plunged it into my belly. Gah. He felt flecks as something warm splatter across my face. It was my own blood.
Cool.
Metal. The impact to my stomach set me stumbling backwards a few steps.
Look, when the doctor said you need more iron in in your diet, this is not the correct way to put it in there.
Very counterproductive. It's letting the iron that's supposed to be there out.
Yeah. See, we agree.
The stab wound burned like it was on fire. I could feel sweat beading on my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
The intense pain was like nothing I had ever felt before. Desperately, I struggled to stay on my feet.
Kaguya scream.
Yeah, that's valid.
I'm not doing that this late at night.
Yeah, same. Herc! I could hear Kaguya screaming. I made this choice for myself, yet tears welled in my eyes, and my heart pounded uncontrollably.
I want to heal you. Shit. Pop it! Pop it!
Stay away! I caught sight of him approaching and shouted at the top of my lungs.
Why?
During the mind-numbing pain, I looked up and glared at him as he stood there in shock. What do you think? The wizard told me, duh. I'm taking you up on your challenge, obviously. I wheezed out an answer. The pain was unbearable. But even then, it was still preferable to the pain of rejection. Pant, wheeze. I pulled my shaking hands away from the knife handle, leaving it suspended in my belly. Good. No one take that knife out, please.
Ooh, it's a party trick now. Look, Ma, no hands. Pop it.
Out of nowhere, I started laughing. The sight of a knife in my stomach was just so surreal. I couldn't help but wonder if maybe I was dreaming. You know what, that's fair.
That's fair.
Or had I simply lost my mind? Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, I hadn't. I was completely sane.
Are you sure? Can we get a second opinion on that?
Can we get X's in chat to doubt? Which was precisely why I had made this choice. I fell silent, then turned to the man illuminated by the sunlight. Moonlight.
Moonlight.
Why did
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's a roundabout way to get something.
Yeah. I have no clue why I said sunlight, damn.
You're not technically wrong, though.
I know. To be clear, this isn't a suicide attempt. I would have taken out the knife. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you.
What? How does that make sense? Anyway, for me?
Yes, this is the biggest sacrifice I can make for you. I mean, I would die for you, Kaguya, and I'm going to. That makes it suicide.
Yep.
Despite the depth of my wound, it wouldn't seem to be fatal, because I still had physical and mental stamina in spades. All this pain, and it still isn't enough?
Oof.
The human body is such an enigma. Huh, Nig. I yanked the knife out to get my body for round 2, and I found her blood came gushing out like so many tears.
Oh, no. Honey, you gotta keep that in.
I mean, her goal is to die, so I guess taking the knife out was the move, but...
Yeah, but, oh. Pop it!
As I removed the foreign object from my body, I expected it to be painful, but instead, it just felt sickening. Yeah?
Yeah, that checks.
Calmly, I imagined what the stain must look like on my white dress. Then I raised the knife again. Then I swung it down again.
Oof.
The impact made me lose my balance, and I fell backward into the water.
Kaguya better dump her after this. Yeah, no shit. Kaguya scream.
I could see Kaguya through the water. Then I start to sink, but something hauled me right back up again.
Rake you! Hold tight. Oh God, what's happening?
Nuts. I lifted my heavy lids to find Kaguya holding me and crying. Don't cry. My voice left my lips in a hoarse whisper.
How could this happen? Did you do this on purpose? To keep me from going to the moon?
Yes. Tell me, Kaguya, can you feel my pain?
Yeah.
You can?
Trust me, I feel it. And it hurts. Much more than any little cut of mine.
No, what I'm trying to say is, when the person you love gets hurt, it hurts you in turn.
The person I love.
I've been in pain for a long time now, because every time you got hurt, I felt it too.
Yeah. Same here. Every time you get hurt, it's agony to watch.
And stop hurting yourself. Please. I can't take this anymore.
Don't talk! Save your energy! Please!
My eyelids fluttered. Keeping them open felt like such a chore.
Yes, Spooky. Absolutely, 100%. Do you think if it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, we both feel pain, like, you know, flick a rubber band on ourselves, like, did you feel that? It's like, nah, not really. Look, it's a video game. That's fine. Oh, right. Pop it! No! Don't close your eyes!
Kaguya tried to stop me, but the messenger from the moon had come to take me away. Let me see your face.
You can see my face anytime you want, so please, I'm begging you!
At last, the mask comes off. I've always wondered what you looked like underneath it. And that was where my consciousness faded.
Pop it? Pop it. 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 Thank you. Answer me. Please. Even a single word will do. Just let me hear your voice. Let me hear you. One last time. Kaguya noises. Reikyu! 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 My sweet Reikyu.
Can we take a moment to applaud the paid for voice actress? Because holy shit.
Yeah,
yeah, what Peachy just said. A moment for the voice actor.
Yeah, damn. Making my job easy. How could I let this happen?
Holding me in his arms, Kaguya let out one anguished scream after another. Tears soaked his handsome face, now twisted in misery.
I'm such an idiot. Yep. I needed you. I loved you. And yet, I couldn't trust you. Even after all the times you told me you loved me.
その報いがこれか。
And this is how I repay you. Is this my crime?
He reached out and touched my cheek. His fingers left streaks of blood in their wake. His hands, his body, are now stained.
Strained.
Listen, stained with my blood.
僕を捨てて月に行かないでくれ。
Riku, please. Don't abandon me for the moon.
Yeah, I did almost say stained. Listen.
Stained?
Gotta get all
You want some
cutesy
Swain
wootsy.
bean?
Time to be stained with some blood. Ooh,
Time for you to be restrained. Ooh.
行くなら
If you have to go,
連れてってくれ。
then at least take me with you.
You have to stay here, Kaguya. I want to speak to him one last time, but even that was too much for me now. I wanted to heal you, Kaguya. I didn't want you to go to the moon. I was willing to do anything to keep you safe. And to that end, I even offered up my life. If you couldn't forgive yourself, then I was willing to do it for you. But then Kaguya whispered in my ear,
君ともう会うこともないなら
What's the point in staying on this planet
この世に生き
if
続け
I'll
る理由
never
が
see
どこ
you
だ
again?
Tell me, Kaguya. Did I make the wrong choice? Was I wrong to hurt you this badly? Yes.
Yes.
Go with yes.
Absolutely. 100%.
But it was technically the correct choice.
And technically effective.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Completely destroyed him.
Yep.
Mask is gone.
My eyelids refused to open, but I glared up at the moon regardless. Please, don't take my beloved away from me.
Hey, wizard. Now's your time to show up, buddy.
Hey, it is.
Oh, damn.
幼き者よ。
Listen well, young one.
かぐやは
Kaguya came
罪を
to
作っ
this
たため
tainted earth to atone for his
このよう
sins.
な汚れた地にいたのだ。罪の期限は
That time
過
has
ぎ
now
た。
passed. Come along, Kaguya.
かぐや。
Why stay here in this wretched
汚れたと
place?
ころにどうして長くいる必要がある。こうして
And so,
か
the
ぐやは
messenger
月
took
の使者
Kaguya
に
home
連れ
to
ら
the
れ
moon.
天に昇っていきました。おし
The
まい。
end. Hmm. Okay, so we definitely still got something wrong.
Yeah, there's still, like, that did not feel final, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. You want to just run through all the choices because that's the nuclear option. And that's honestly the best way. Because we could just go through every option that we did and figure out what's wrong, or we could just start at the beginning and just make all the right choices. Like, we're so close to the end here. We could end Kaguya's story tonight.
Maybe, but
Let's
I kind
look-
of want to go back to the option with Snow because it seems to be that we also have to say it because it's the right thing to do as well.
Ew. Why? Why can't we just do it because we love them? Anyway. Is it possible Kaguya... Okay, so
Oh,
it's
there's
after
Snow.
that. There we go. There's
Our
the
little
choice.
guy.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Because that's what's best for him.
かぐやのため
Okay.
Literally just that one line.
一緒に過ごし
Are you kidding me?
It's those little things that make the difference, you know?
I know the wizard said this route's kind of like tricky.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to make some decisions that you wouldn't normally make on the other routes, but like, damn. I thought for sure we nailed it. I was like, damn.
Yeah, like we definitely got pretty far, but
I put my all into that. I was ready. I was like, yeah, we're good. We got this. And it's like,
Mhm.
oh, it abruptly ended. And we're like,
そんな
yeah. Do you remember the conversation we had a while back?
no.
I do everything in my power to keep you with me. I won't let anyone take you away. I'll fight every single moon dweller if I have to. Moon dwellers are upland, beautiful upland people who never grow old and never have problems.
Doesn't mean they can't die.
Think about it. Can you really say that counts as true happiness?
それは
Well,
He hesitated and looked away, but as I was waiting for him to find his answer, all of a sudden, something yanked my hair, and I came to a stop. That's different. Confused, I turned to find that my hair had caught on a tree branch.
どうしたん？
what's the matter?
My hair.
Oh,
ひいさんは案外
you're a bit
Hello,
hapless
Kaguya.
at times, aren't you, Puppet?
He laughed and shook his head at me. Sorry.
じっとしててな。
Hold still, yeah?
He reached out and started to untangle my hair from the branch. Okay.
ほら、取れた。
There you are.
Thank you.
僕がいなかったら、
What would have
ひ
happened
い
if
さ
I
んは
wasn't
今
with you?
頃動けんままやったんかな。
Would you simply be stuck there?
Nah, I'm crying like a baby, probably.
僕がい
I
て
mean, that's how you get attention to
よ
help.
かった。
But you're glad I was here to help, yeah?
Yeah.
そっか。
Secret dialogue.
なら、
Right. Well then.
かぐやくん
Kaguya? Is that you?
Just then, his voice called out from behind. Gasp. I've been through this.
I was gonna say, were they gonna skip this? I was like, it seems like such a key
Yeah.
scene to skip. I was like, oh man. This literally sets the chain of reaction forward for
Mhm.
everything that comes after this.
But you know, that hair thing was also definitely very
これ、あ
important.
げるわ。
Hopefully that's all we have to do to be on the right track. We'll see though. Play along, not make a sassy retort. Roar!
Raw XZ, which is funny because I'm pretty sure we picked this the first time.
Yeah, but you... Like, I wasn't sure and you said sassy, so that's why I picked it, so...
Yeah, I know. I know it's on me. Don't worry about it.
I grabbed him by the arm and made monster noises at him.
うわ、かわいいな。
Fuck. You're so cute.
I think that's the 8th time he's called me cute so far. Will you feed Kaguya?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
There's so many
Even if
yes
it-
and
even if-
no's, man.
Even if the guide said no, you have to do this for the, you can't do this for the true ending, I'd be like, no, I'm feeding him. I'll find a way.
Okay, we were supposed to respond like a proper good girl.
What the fuck?
Not gonna happen.
そうそ
Much better. I don't agree with this.
Make something up. We're supposed to
Make
tell him the
something
truth.
up?
Mhm.
Are you kidding me? I mean, I guess that makes sense given like the context and.
Yeah. I had a dream that you were Super Kagu Bear, protecting the Earth from aliens, like it was some kind of sci-fi action movie.
う。うん。そりゃあ確かにしんどそうやな。
Oh yeah, sounds rough.
I know, right? I laughed breezily. The reason I lied was to avoid sounding clingy. Fair enough, I guess. I don't know.
やめろ。
Oh,
おい、
that's
や
different.
めてくれ。
Stop! That's enough! Please!
Screaming, Kaguya grabbed me by the arm.
何バカなことやってんだよ。
What are you thinking, you idiot? Don't you know how much it hurts me to see you in pain?
僕がどれだけ君のことを好きで。
Do you realize how much I love you? How much you mean to me?
君が傷ついたら。
Seeing you in pain hurts me 1,000 times worse than any pain I'd give
先輩は
myself.
激しい痛みが僕を襲うんだ。体を切り裂かれるよりも。
Worse than cutting,
体が焼けるよりも。
worse than burning, worse than
できなくなるよ
suffocating.
りも。
It's agony.
苦しくて痛いん。僕のことを好きだって言うなら。
If you care about me as much as you say you do, Then don't hurt me like this. If you love me, then never do this again.
That's the goal, to not do this again.
Yeah, that's the goal. If something happened to you, I'd be devastated. I'd never recover. Now please, just stop. I'm begging you.
Sobbing, he pulled me into his arms.
I believe you, okay? I believe that you love me. So please, hurt yourself right here.
I heard a soft splash as something fell into the water near me. Apparently, I lost my grip on the knife.
Oh, damn.
Guess I'm not gonna die after all. How about you take your own advice then?
Ooh. Rikyu.
Tell me, Kaguya, can you feel my pain?
Yeah,
You can?
trust me. I feel it. And it hurts.
A smile crept up on my lips. I closed my eyes, and a tear rolled down my cheek. By all accounts, I was in agonizing pain, but strangely enough, my heart was at peace. Then, Kaguya stepped away from me. Not for once. He wasn't smiling.
Right! The hospital! We gotta get you to a doctor! I'll take you there straight away. Just hold tight, alright? Alright? Hang in there!
He scooped me into his arms and headed for the lake shore.
Hurry. Hurry! Hurry!
When we made it back to the shore, he lowered me to the ground. Then he pulled off part of his kimono and wrapped the cloth around my wound.
Sorry, but this is all I have. Just press down here and stay still.
I grunted in pain. The next thing I knew, Kaguya's face filled my vision. He pulled his lips away, then wiped mine with his thumb.
Sorry, I don't know if there's any medicine left on my tongue, and even if there was, sedatives don't have any pain-relieving effects. But I figured it couldn't hurt to try.
Cute, I guess. Sedatives make me more flustered.
If I had some kind of cure-all, I'd have used it in a heartbeat. That's just fairy tale stuff, that is.
Fairy tale stuff. Your kimono will get stained.
That's what they're there for. Here, take this.
Hey, I recognize this.
It's the handkerchief you gave me.
You held on to it all this time?
Yeah. It was the one thing I can never bring myself to return.
No. He scooped me back into his arms and started running. If anyone had seen us, soaking wet and covered in blood, they might have had a heart attack. But there was no residential districts in this area, just summer homes. Plus, it was the middle of the night. Unfortunately, the utter lack of people was only adding to Kaguya's current panic. At one point, his face twisted in pain, and he slowed to a walk. Kaguya? Shoulders heaving, he struggled again and again to keep his tired eyes open. But it was a losing battle, and a split second later, we both pitched sideways. Ah. Thankfully, he caught himself at the last possible moment.
I'm sorry, Reikyu. Are you alright?
He straightened back up. But the pain still lingered in his expression. He was gritting his teeth, like he was bracing himself against something. You could see a tiny rivulet of blood trickling from one corner of his mouth. That's when I realized he was fighting to stay conscious. Had those aforementioned sedatives started to take effect?
Sorry, Hobbit. Just a moment.
He set me down at the base of a tree nearby. Kaguya. Now I could see that my blood had left a stain on his kimono. As for me, I could still just barely formulate cohesive thoughts, but the intense pain and blood loss was making me feel pain, same as him. I pulled the cloth away from my stomach and found that the bleeding had slowed considerably.
Hang on a minute.
He smiled, probably to reassure me, and picked up a fallen branch lying on the ground. What's that for?
A knife! This ought to do the trick.
Gripping the branch, he raised it in the air and plunged it hard into his thigh. Huh?
Oh, is he trying to make the adrenaline go?
Maybe. Kaguya, why? I reached out to him, but lost my balance and toppled face first onto the ground. He hoisted me upright, then smiled and spoke softly.
I'm sorry, Reikyu. Just a minute ago, I was telling you not to hurt yourself, and now I've made a hypocrite of myself.
Uh-huh.
But I needed to do it, or else I'll pass out altogether.
The branch had impaled his thigh. Blood trickled from the wound. It was gruesome. I couldn't help but grimace.
Just understand this. I didn't do it to kill myself. I did it to keep us both alive.
As he spoke, he put his arms under me and staggered to his feet. He stumbled dozens of times, possibly from the pain, but nevertheless pushed forward.
My whole life, I always yearned for the moon. The world was overflowing with things I didn't want to see or hear. I was subjected to so much of its corruption right from the moment I was born. There was no light in my life. What did I ever do wrong? What was I missing? Nobody wanted me. Nobody needed me. Nobody loved me. That's why I was drawn to the purity of the moon. I wanted to go back. I wanted to believe I wasn't some tainted human. No, I was different. I was a moon dweller, and the people up there needed me. But the truth is, I figured out a long time ago. I was never a moon dweller. I was a dirty, greedy human, same as the rest of them. Just a normal human who lies, hurts people, and wants what he can't have. Same as you.
Yep, I'm an Earthling, just like you.
Yeah, we're both human. She said Earthling, not human. Sure, moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems.
でも
But the reason they don't
何
have
も思い悩む
problems
ことがないと
is
いうのは
because they've forgotten everything.
君との思い出も
I don't want to forget the
君
love
の
I
愛した
have
こ
for
と
you
も全て
or the time we shared.
僕はそんな月なんかに帰りたくない
If that's what the moon's like,
もち
then
ろ
I
ん
don't want to go back.
君だって
And I'm not
月に
letting
連れ
you
て
go
なんて行かせ
either.
ないもし
My
月の使者
talons
が
will
君
claw
を
out the
迎えよう
eyes
と
of
する
those
な
who
ら
come to take you. I'll seize them by the hair,
長い
roll
爪で
them
その
around
迎えの
and
目を
dash them
掴
to
み
the
潰そう
ground. That'll
髪の
teach
毛を
them.
取って引き落とし恥をかかせてやる
Hang in there, Reikyu.
君は僕が絶
I
対に助
promise
け
I'll
る
save you.
Thank you. Rested my head on his shoulder and wrapped my arms around his neck. It hurt to see my beloved in pain, but would hurt 1,000 times worse if he left me here alone. The good news is, he's not going to abandon me for the moon, nor will I abandon him. Even after our sins are purged, we're going to spend the rest of our lives here on Earth.
もう少しだから
Our short, miserable.
Well,
I mean,
it's-
yeah. You're almost to safety. Just a little longer.
Okay. Encouraged each other as the walk continued. Hey, Kaguya. Do you understand why I wanted you to get your memories back? I looked up at him.
ああ
Yeah,
今な
I
ら
do
わかる
now.
He looked back at me.
君はずっと気づ
You
いて
wanted
ほ
me
しか
to
ったんだろ
realize that you loved me,
君の心は
didn't you?
Yeah. My heart belongs to you alone.
僕もだ
Right back at you.
君が僕に心をくれるなら
If you give me your heart,
僕
then
の
I'll give
心
you
も
mine.
At long last, the city lights came into view on the horizon.
光だ
I see the light.
After all that time walking through the darkness, any tiny speck of light felt blinding. The strength drained from my limbs, and I relinquished my grip on Kaguya.
Reikyu!
As I went limp, he lost his balance, and together we collapsed to the ground.
Reikyu!
Let's. The next thing I knew, my vision had gone hazy.
Puppet! Reikyu!
I thought I heard him calling my name, but I couldn't tell if it was real life or only a dream. Somehow, I had the energy to use my brain, but not enough to move my body. Instantly, I was overcome with a deep, primal fear. If I closed my eyes, chances were good I'd never open them again.
Kaguya!
Oh. Cinderella?
Cinderella sound like.
Yeah. Kaguya! Reikyu!
Reikyu! Reikyu!
Through my hazy vision, I could make out Kaguya's tear-stained face, and the full moon floating behind him. How beautiful.
And at last I see the light. Oh, it's a hospital.
Room.
Fuck.
The next thing I knew, I was laying on a hospital bed. There was an IV drip on my arm, and Kaguya was asleep beside my pillow, clutching my hand. No.
Aw, cute.
I tried to sit up, but didn't have the strength, so I turned my head as best as I could.
He's sleepy.
His shoulders rose and fell rhythmically. Exhaustion was etched into the lines of his face. It didn't feel right to wake him, so I let him sleep for a while longer. Eventually, his dark lashes fluttered. I tried to say good morning, but my voice wouldn't come.
Reikyu!
Kaguya bolted to his feet.
よかった
Oh,
今
thank
お医者さん呼ぶから
God.
待ってて
I'm gonna go get the doctor, okay? Be right back.
He was about to let go of my hand. I lifted my arm to reach out for his sleeve.
動いたらあかんって
You have to
手術
stay
したところ
still.
が開いたらどう
We
す
can't
ん
have
ね
you
ん
tearing your sutures.
Sutures. I blinked back at him.
ああそうか
Oh, right.
普通知
You
ら
have
ん
no
よな
idea.
He realized my confusion, sat back down in his chair, and squeezed my hand. Then he let out a long breath and told me everything that had happened in the interim.
君が倒れた後な
Interim.
すぐに病院に連れて行って
After you passed out, I got you to the hospital, and they took you in for surgery.
もちろん手術は
It was
成
a
功
success, of course.
幸い
Seems you didn't hit any
臓器に
vital
は傷つい
organs.
とらんかったみた
The
いで
doctor said you were
不幸
very
中の幸い
lucky,
やなってでもな
but
そ
you
れ
were
から
asleep
な
for
か
a
なか
long
目覚まさん
time.
くて
Everyone's been worried
みんな
sick
心配したん
about
や
you.
ね
He laughed dryly. I could see dark circles under his eyes.
あれから何日経ったと思う
You know how long it's
2
been?
日やでびっくりや
5 days. Crazy, isn't it?
Damn.
このまま
5 days, damn. I started thinking
目が覚めなか
maybe
った
you
ら
wouldn't
どうし
wake
よう
up
か
at
と思っ
all.
た
Hmm.
ごめんな
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
その
They said,
傷
you might have a scar after
残って
this.
しまうかもし
Yeah,
れない
no shit.
I think that's the least of the worries right now.
Yeah, that's the least of the worries. We're trying not to get that shit infected, buddy.
君は女の子なのに
Your feminine beauty is ruined now. All because of me.
Just a
Bro.
scar, buddy. Get over
Bonk
it.
him. Yeah, it's just a scar, buddy. If I complained about every red mark and weird stretch mark or scar on my body, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah. He looked to be on the verge of tears. I smiled, hoping to reassure him.
Reikyu.
僕はわがままで
I'm a spoiled,
自分勝手
selfish, disingenuous, greedy, tainted human.
深いそんな僕のために
And despite all that,
君はこうして
you put your
命を
life
懸
on
け
the
て
line for me.
僕の思いを得るために
You put your full
君
effort
は最
to
大限
earn
の
my
努力をして
affection.
くれたありがとう
Thank you.
だから
Now
今度は
it's my turn. Look what I found.
僕は
Pulls out the knife.
君の思いを得るためにできる限
I'm
り
gonna
の努
put
力を
my
する
in my full effort to earn your affection.
No.
それがたとえ
No matter how
どんな
impossible
無
the
理難題だ
task,
としても
I'll make it happen.
僕は答えてみ僕は
Why?
君を愛しているから
Because I love you, Reikyu.
No.
How is that not a happy ending? Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, that was good.
Like, I know you're saying like, hey, be prepared for not a happy ending here.
No, I was
Nope.
just saying it was possible. They haven't played this. I don't know what happens. After I woke from my coma, Kaguya came to visit me every single day. Over time, my condition improved considerably, and now, in just a few short days, I would be discharged.
It's been so long since I last held you.
Kaguya?
どうした
What is it?
I appreciate the hug and all, but I've been trapped on this hospital bed for a while now, and I really like to take a shower first. Embarrassed, I averted my gaze. Then, I raised a hand and flattened my bangs. Fortunately, I knew I could count on Kaguya to take the hint.
大丈夫
Don't
綺麗
worry.
やって
You're beautiful.
それにすごく
And
ね
you
え
smell great.
He gently took my hand and peered into my eyes. I tried to keep my eyes averted, but at such close range, it was basically impossible. Reluctantly, I met his gaze. Do I really? Oh, I get it. The nurse must have given me a sponge bath.
Indeed I did! Cleaned your hair, face, and body. All while you were sleeping.
What?
Oh.
The next thing I knew, he leaned in and stole a kiss. Very good. Reiki sound?
You're my girlfriend after all. I won't let anyone else lay a finger on you.
I think it's okay for the doctors to take care of
I was gonna say,
but...
it's fine for the nurses. God damn, you gotta make some exceptions for medical professionals. Next, are you gonna go punch every surgeon that did surgery on her?
I would hope not, jeez. He smirked mischievously as my mind reeled from this outrageous revelation. Wait, what? What? Did he just imply that he washed my entire naked body?
Yeah.
As I stared at him in confusion, his smirk only deepened.
You're adorable when you sleep, but I much prefer making you blush while you're awake.
You're embarrassing me. My voice came out a bit louder than I meant it to.
Oh, please. Is it really that big of a deal?
Yes. Yes, it is. Normally, this was the part where I'd bury my face under the blankets and squeal, "No, don't look at me." But right now, I was recovering from surgery. Naturally, the slightest movement resulted in... Ow, 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 ow! My unsexy grunts of pain promptly killed the mood. Granted, I wasn't particularly talented at being sexy in the first place, I suppose.
You alright?
Yeah. Clutching my aching side, I tried to smile reassuringly, but I could feel my face twitching. Evidently, I had hit my limit. Kaguya shook his head and smiled at me sympathetically.
Time to call the doctor then?
His voice was soft and gentle. Yeah.
Right then.
I nodded meekly. That reminds me, how's the cafe do? At that precise moment, a pair of familiar faces walked in. Hey, you're awake. Snow. Cinderella, Snow White, you came to see me? The two brothers walked up to my bedside. Sure did. Took a whole day off just to come see you too. You better be grateful.
Oh. He was gonna take the day off anyway.
I mean, let him be cute, okay? I'm sorry. Relax, I'm just messing with you. Oh. Funny thing, I feel bad that I couldn't come see you sooner. Here, I got you some, voice cracking, please, cooperate. I know it's 1:30, but jeez. Here, I got you some nice lilies as a goodwill gift. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Cheers, mate!
Before I could accept the bouquet, however, Kaguya stepped in between us.
Oh, he's in that possessive shit.
Come on, I was just giving her flowers.
Yeah, I know. Seeing as I'm her boyfriend, I reckon I can handle it.
Kaguya, please.
Kaguya, she's allowed to have friends!
What, is she a pop star now?
She's all mine is what she is. Oh, actually, well, I've got you. Can I ask you two to go and fetch the doctor?
What? Why me?
Ow, 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 oh, my poor leg. It hurts so much. I can scarcely stand.
I love their expressions right now. Clutching his thigh, Kaguya dropped to the floor. Nice try, but you were perfectly fine a minute ago.
All that work, you keep forcing on me day in and day out. At this rate, I'll never recover.
Whoa. We never forced that crap on you. You did it without asking.
今は彼女のとこにずっといたいのに、生活能力のないシンデレラさんと白雪さんの面倒を見なあかんなんて。
I'd like to stay at my girlfriend's side 24/7, but alas, I'm forced to look after these two brothers who can't look after themselves.
俺は頼ん
I
で
literally
な
never asked you to.
特に不器用な白雪さんなんて気づくとゴミためになるから
Especially
めっ
poor,
ちゃ大
clumsy
変
Snow
やんだ
White.
わ。
He's always cluttering up whatever room he's in. Such a hassle. What the fuck? Is this, like, expert level gaslighting?
ちゅうわけでよろしく頼むわ、兄さん方。
How about, lads? Can I count on you for once?
He smiled brightly, but I got the
fuck is
feeling
going
he
on
wasn't
here?
about to take no for an answer.
仕方
Fine,
ねえ
since
な。
you insist.
は
And so they reluctantly left the room.
やっぱええ人たちやな。
Couple of proper stand-up blokes, I reckon.
でもちょっとうっかりさ
Bit
んや
on
な。
the forgetful side, though.
ナース
Did they
コール
notice
あ
we
る
got
の
a
に
nurse
気づ
call
かへんなん
button
て
right
な。
here?
Okay, but you were... Of course, the nurse call button. I forgot I had one of those.
ま、おかげで邪魔者はいなく
Well,
な
at
っ
least
た
now
わ
the
けやけ
third
ど。
and fourth wheels are gone.
But then how
Mhm.
will the bus... How will the wheels go round and round?
How will the bus make...
Good enough.
Snow literally exists in the most unobtrusive way possible. Oh, man.
You tricky little devil. Who are you? What have you done with my boyfriend? Have I witnessed the birth of Dark Kaguya?
これで
Now we can have a bit of alone time.
二人きりやな。
You've really changed, haven't you? Cinderella's one thing, but how the heck do you have Snow White at your beck and call?
True.
On my comment, Kaguya smiled slightly.
変わってない。僕はわがままで
Nah, I'm still the same as ever. Spoiled, selfish,
と深い
disingenuous,
汚れた人間
a
や。
greedy, tainted human.
今までは仮面をかぶって
Until
それ
now,
を隠してい
I've
たけ
kept
ど、
it hidden behind a mask.
みんな
But
に
you
は
lot have
全
already
部
seen the real me.
お見通しだったわけやしな。
So you've dropped your facade?
捨てたわけやない。
Not
た
entirely,
だ、
but I've decided to stop wearing it 24/7. It's too suffocating, you know?
仮面をつけてると、そのことを思い出させたのは、
You're the one that helped me remember that, Poppet.
僕は嫉妬深くて、
I'm a
独占欲
jealous,
が強くてずるい
obsessive
男だ。
creep. And from now on, I'm not holding
これ
myself
から
back.
の遠慮なんて
So you better come to terms with that.
Oh boy. Before I could answer, he kissed me. His true nature beneath the mask took my breath away, but it didn't change the fact that I loved him, and I was prepared to overcome whatever challenges our relationship threw at us next. Hi, wizard. Moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems. They live in a utopia. But they have no hearts, and without hearts, they cannot love.
No.
Once he realized that, Kaguya never yearned for the moon ever again. Meow. Love is a matter of the heart. It is intangible. And proving its existence is tricky. Maybe even impossible.
Wow.
But now that his heart has healed, Kaguya has been reborn as a human once more. And so, they lived happily ever after. Know the end? Once upon a time, in the Looking Glass world, there lived a young orphan boy named Kaguya. Everyone around him used him for their own purposes. He was shuffled around from house to house to house, And at each house, Kaguya worked hard to earn affection from the people who lived there. He obeyed orders and never made any demands. No matter how hurt or scared he was, he kept on smiling. He wore his smile like a mask to suppress his true self. But no matter where he went, he never truly belonged. Whenever he felt sad, he looked up at the moon and remembered what someone at the 5th house had told him. Moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old, never have any problems. They live in a utopia.
Utopia. Utopia.
Yearning to return to the moon, Kaguya began to hurt himself. But each time he tried, he ultimately failed and lost his memories of everything save for his name. One day, he had a fateful encounter with a princess at a cafe. She welcomed him in with a beautiful smile. Kaguya took a liking to her right away, so he asked her to be his girlfriend, and happily, she accepted. The two of them lived under the same roof and deepened their bond through a notebook they exchanged back and forth. The princess was more perceptive than anyone Kaguya had ever met in his whole life. She said and did everything he wanted her to, and bit by bit, he fell even more deeply in love with her. But as time passed, the princess started to pick up on the real Kaguya beneath his smile. This frightened him to his core. After all, the real him was despicable, tainted. He was ashamed to reveal himself to her. As she prodded at his sore spots, Kaguya began to yearn for the moon more and more. Then, on the night of the full moon, having regained all his memories, Kaguya departed, leaving behind only a note. Moon dwellers are beautiful, opulent people who never grow old and never have any problems. They live in a utopia. With no regrets left in his heart, Kaguya plunged himself into the lake. But just then, the princess called out to him. She had realized his true intentions. Kaguya had used an impossible demand as an excuse to reject all forms of love. Now that she knew how he truly felt, the princess declared her desire to heal him. Then she hurt himself with the knife she carried in her hand. When he saw it, he realized. The pain felt by his beloved hurt thousands of times worse than any pain inflicted upon himself. So he took off his mask and revealed himself to her. The princess took one step at the real Kaguya and smiled. Or one look. I can read so good. Healed by her love.
What is reading?
Good question. Healed by her love, Kaguya lived happily ever after.
Yay! 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 Probably.
おめでとうございます。
Congrats on making it out of the hospital, Reikyu.
Thanks.
せっかくの退院祝いな
I
の
reckon
に
this calls for a
何か欲し
celebration.
いものとか
Is there anything you
他
want?
にどこか行き
Anywhere
たい
you
と
wanna
ころと
go?
かないん
Grapes. I already have everything I
Grapes.
could possibly want. You're here with me, holding me in your arms. I couldn't ask for anything more.
ひいさんは欲がないな。
Oh. Ugh. Oh, Poppin. You're so selfless.
What about you, Kaguya?
ん
Hmm?
Anything I can do for you?
そりゃあいっぱいあるで。
Lots, actually. I missed you terribly while you were laid up.
寂しく
Thought I might
寂
die,
し
to
く
be
て
honest.
死にそうやったわ。
You mean, go to the moon?
うさぎさんみ
Yeah.
たいに。
Like the rabbit I am. Rabbits die from loneliness.
True.
今、ようや
I
く
must
君
say,
と触れ合うこと
It's
がで
great
き
to
て。
behold you again.
確かに、
But I don't
それ
need
だ
more
けでも
than
十分
and I don't
幸せ
need
やけ
more
ど
than this. But
But the malfunction. Ricky.exe has stopped working.
bottom?
Bottom? Bye.
もっと触れたいな。
I'd still like more if you're offering.
What, like a big hug?
ぎゅーっ
Yeah.
と抱きしめ
The
たい。
biggest hug.
Since it's you, I'll allow it.
もしかして、
You might
壊し
break,
て
you
しまう
know.
かもしれへんで。
I'll be fine. Trust me.
私はあなたが思っているより頑丈です。
I'm stronger than you
あなたが少し
think.
くらい乱暴に
You can
扱
get
っ
a
た
little
として
rough
も
with
壊
me.
れはしま
I
せん。
won't break,
やろ
right?
Exactly. How do you know what I was going to say?
そりゃ、
Hmm.
大
'cause I
好きな
love you.
君のことやし。
Thoughts. Hey, Kaguya.
どないしたん
What is it?
Can I ask you a favor?
ええよ
Sure.
Will you give me your rabbit mask?
これを
What,
別
this?
に何の価値も
You
ない
know it's not worth
ただ
anything,
の
right?
お面やで
Pretty please.
わかった
Right. You can have it.
君には
I reckon I don't need it anymore.
Thank you so much.
でもお面なんてもらってどうするつも
What
り
do you
だ
want with that shoddy old thing
お兄
anyway?
さんの素顔
It won't
は
hide your face from me.
Now I can have both your mask and your real face.
そういうことか
That's why you wanted it?
Yep. Whenever you're hurting or struggling, just tell me. You don't need to grin and bear it. No stiff upper lip required. I'll always accept your needs and feelings.
わかった
Alright.
なら
Then I'll make an exception for you.
他
From
の
now
人には
on,
見せない
you're the only one who's allowed to
僕
see
の
the
本
real
当の
me.
素顔を見せますその代わり
In
君の笑
exchange,
顔も
I get you all to myself. Your joy,
これから
your
は僕が
sadness,
独り占め
your
にする
pain. Don't hold back on my account.
君が
I
傷
can
ついた
handle it
時
all.
そして
From now on, let's make some
これから
happy,
も
some new happy
二人で
memories
思い出を
together.
積み重ねていこうな
Yay.
Aww,
Little.
tiny. And we're covering him up for the most part.
It's fine.
I saw the happy ending of the Kaguya chapter.
Hey, here's the screen.
Hey, there we go. Now we're
Perfect.
not covering him.
Yay.
Look at Davani.
Just a little guy.
He's just a silly little guy.
Mhm. Do you have any parting words for chat?
When someone says they love you, take them at their word for it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you do drastic bullshit like this.
Yeah. Catch you all next time. Bye bye.